Program no stranger to the tournament. The Houston Cougars, they take on the Texas State Bobcats from the South Best Conference. Hello again, everybody. I'm Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs, and at Minute Maid Park, 9 games in 3 days, college's best baseball programs, and kicks us off with a program very familiar to this tournament, the Houston Cougars against the Texas State Bobcats.
Yeah, looking forward to this, Gerald. It's a date that's circled by a lot of the coaches, obviously the ones attending here. But this is a great tournament, one of college baseball's all-time best, very historical tournament. So we're looking forward to 3 days of great baseball.
And the Cougars led by Justin Murray. He is some type of ball player.
Yeah, no doubt. The very talented two-way star for the Cougs. Justin Murray has picked up right where he left off last spring when he crushed 11 home runs and 58 RBI while making 25 appearances on the mound. The 6', 200-pound senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, leads Houston with a .464 batting average, has already hit 2 home runs, has 9 RBI this season. He's also been perfect over the rubber, having appeared in 3 games and surrendering only 1 hit in 4 1/3 innings while striking out 7 for Houston.
Meanwhile, for Texas State, the freshman Ryan Farber, he is very hot to start the 2024 season.
Yeah, Ryan Farber has arrived in college baseball with a loud bang. The true freshman had a monstrous fall in San Marcos. He clubbed a team-leading .450 during the fall. But the super athletic Farber can also play multiple positions, which has allowed his head coach Steve Trout to convert him from an infielder to a center fielder. The switch hitter leads the Bobcats with a .556 batting average. He already has 4 doubles, 8 RBI on the season, and a team-leading .684 on-base percentage. He is the spark at the top of that Texas State lineup.
Well, sit back and join us, why don't you? Morning baseball from Minute Maid Park, the Houston Cougars and the Texas State Bobcats, and it's coming up next right here. Once again, 6 prestigious college baseball programs converge in Houston, Texas for one of the nation's showcase events. It's the Astros Foundation College Classic. 9 games in 3 days. Our first game features a program that's no stranger to the tournament. The Houston Cougars, they take on the Texas State Bobcats from the Sun Belt Conference. And a very pleasant good day. I'm Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs. And starting off the tournament, and what a tournament it is once again. 9 games in 3 days. Houston Cougars and the Texas State Bobcats. And this game for the Houston Cougars, this will be the team that has played the most in this tournament over the 24 years.
Yeah, looking forward to this game as well as the entire weekend. It's one of the more historic college baseball tournaments. A lot of coaches circle this date because they're so excited to get here to Houston to play in Minute Maid Park.
The Cougars, a two-way player, Justin Murray, and he is some type of ball player.
Yeah, Justin Murray is a star, and he is hit for the Cougs, and he has picked up right where he left off last spring. The 6', 200-pound senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, leads Houston with a .464 batting average. Couple of home runs and 9 RBI already this season. He's also been perfect over the rubber, having appeared in 3 games and surrendering only 1 hit in 4 1/3 innings while striking out 7 as the closer.
And for the Texas State Bobcats, Ryan Farber, he is a freshman, but he hasn't shown any freshman jitters to start the 2024 season.
No doubt. He has hit the college scene in a big way with a loud bang. And the true freshman had monstrous fall in San Marcos. And the super athletic Farber can also play multiple positions, which has allowed his head coach, Steve Trout, to convert him from infield to center field. The switch hitter leads the Bobcats with a .556 batting average. He already has 4 doubles, 8 RBI on the season, and a team-leading .684 on-base percentage.
So it's going to be a good one here to kick it off in the Astros Foundation College Classic. The Houston Cougars and the Texas State Bobcats, and that's coming up next. Welcome back to Minute Maid Park, and let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Houston Cougars, it'll be the shortstop Jake Reines to lead it off, followed by left fielder Ace Reese. Batting third and playing first base, Justin Murray. Right fielder Trey Jones in the cleanup spot. Designated hitter Kenneth Jimenez, followed by catcher Anthony Tulmero, the senior. Second baseman Herod Cole is batting 7th. Alex Lopez hitting 8th at third base. And batting 9th and rounding out the lineup for Todd Whitting is the Cameron Nickens. He is the center fielder. For the Houston Cougars, Austin Ayton right-hander getting the start for the Texas State Bobcats.
Yeah, the transfer from Navarro College. He put up video game-like numbers at Navarro last season. Went 11-0, tossed 6 complete games on the mound while posting a 2.12 ERA in 68 innings. The Frisco, Texas native saw a tick up in his velocity in the fall to the mid-90s. Also has excellent command with a sinker, slider, changeup mix. But suffered his first collegiate loss last week versus Kansas. His head coach, Steve Trout, is anxious to see how he will bounce back today.
He's had a couple of starts that not gone very deep in the ball games. Of course, you think the first game, okay, well, it's early. You're only going to go a couple of innings. But the second game, he didn't get into the 5th inning either.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that, the early season is, you've got pitch counts going on for these guys. So first game, probably 75 to 80 pitches. And I think he just had a little bit of struggle with his command in that first game. But, yeah, last week against Kansas got banged around a little bit and, gave up a number of earned runs. I think this is a game today he's been looking forward to try to clear that record.
And one of the things that also Steven Trout talked about in our pregame meeting with him, he said that they really want to get off to a good start. They've fallen behind early in ball games, and so I think a lot of that's going to have to do with Eaton and his command early.
Yeah, no doubt, Gerald, and that's been the key for Texas State, really looking to figure out who those top 3 starters are going to be. The starters have really struggled here early on.
So it'll be leading off is Jake Reynes, the shortstop. And we are underway, ready to go. And the game's first pitch is lifted on the infield. Is it going to stay in fair territory? Nope. It's just on top of the first base dugout where Texas State resides. And so we're underway on a cloudy, overcast Friday morning at Minute Maid Park. Back again, the Astros Foundation College Classic. Pat, excited to be here with you, and I know that we're going to see a lot of great baseball over these next 3 days. To the left side and backhanded by the shortstop Powell. A long throw and not in time, and Reynes is aboard with an infield single, and so that's how the top of the first begins for the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, nice job by the Bobcat shortstop Davis Powell. Got to it, made a diving play, but of course the speedy Reynes getting down the line quickly. That throw not in time.
So looking at the infield, Patino and Moore and Powell right there, along with their third baseman Lugo. Ramirez is their catcher, and Eaton on the mound. They'll be facing now Austin Reese. Reese thinking outside for ball 1. Reese, he's hit the ball well the first 8 games for the Houston Cougars. A .375 batting average, couple of long balls.
Yeah, Ace Reese is a true freshman, a utility type guy that can play a lot of different positions, but he is off to an outstanding start in his collegiate career.
And the top part of their batting order, they're hitting very well, the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, top 5 guys in their lineup hitting above 300. A lot of pop and juice in the top 4 as well.
Now the Cougars, they had a ball game earlier this season against Prairie View in which they had a football score, 27-1. Most runs they had scored since 1993 and tied for second most in their program. So when you got numbers like that, sometimes it can pad the averages a little bit.
Yeah, that game certainly helped.
And we had talked about Texas State and wanting to get off to good starts. Well, the Houston Cougars, on the other hand, they started the season 6-0, but they have struggled in their last 2 ball games.
Yeah, it's you get to the first part of the season, a lot of question marks with players, positioning, and roles, and you've seen the lineup juggle a little bit with Todd Winning's Cougars. But great start. Last couple of games they've stumbled. But this is a big weekend for them in terms of facing stronger competition. It's going to allow Todd and his staff to really get a good barometer on who can rise up against better pitching.
This is the first year that the Cougars are in the Big 12, and they start conference play next week against your alma mater, Baylor.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be a big weekend for both clubs, and Baylor off to a really difficult start. But big time, for a team to make a move like this from the American Conference to the Big 12. That's a huge move for Houston.
Cut on and missed. Ace Reese Gorgeous morning, a little cool, but the roof is open. Been here where tournament where the roof sometimes it's closed and it can be cool in here.
Yeah, no doubt. When the air conditioner's going strong here, it can feel just like a morning like this in the mid-50s. But we're told it's going to warm up and be a beautiful weekend, and the Astros have chosen to keep the roof open the entire weekend, which is I love outdoor baseball.
Lead at first by Reynes, and that's a strike. And sitting down is Reese. Game's first out. Good pitch there by Eaton.
Yeah, well spotted fastball catches the outside corner. Really set Reese up well. He had a couple of pitches that were middle in. And changed his eye level with the fastball up in the zone, and this time comes back and clips that outside corner.
Moving it in and out and up and down, and I think that, you know, Eaton's not going to really overpower you, but the changing of speeds makes his pitches look a little bit faster on those fastballs as he gets ahead in the count to Justin Murray. We highlighted Murray at the top, and look at Murray's numbers. A couple of home runs, and the batting average over 450. That's a 464 batting average.
Yeah, one of the premier two-way players in college baseball, and Murray off again to a great start, following up the great season he had last year. Of course, could see him out of the pen maybe a couple of times this weekend as the closer for the Cougs.
Yeah, Houston's had a couple of two-way players, a couple of good two-way players throughout their history in the program, and Murray is going to be, looks like he's going to be another one of those. Crowd still filing in here at Minute Maid. Eaton. To right field. Manning going back. It's up against the wall. And Murray's going to slide in with a one-out double. Opposite field, Murray. That's some power right there, and he continues to hit the ball well.
That ball was well struck. He barrels this ball up. It was a fastball elevated. Outer part of the play, but he crushes that ball and almost gets it out of here at Minute Maid. High off the Xfinity sign there in right center. Manning plays it well, played the carom perfectly, got the ball back in quickly. So that'll hold Reynes at third base, but a stand-up double for Justin Murray.
And you can see there with that swing that Murray had, he let the ball travel a little bit before pulling it. He didn't want to pull it. He just let it come in, and then he barreled it out opposite field.
Yeah, just a mature professional hitter, and he has proven himself up at this level. He'll have a chance at the next level as well.
Now it is Trey Jones. Jones taking a breaking pitch for a ball. Now Jones, he has had another nice start to the season. Back-to-back 464 hitters. And he has played and started in all of the previous 8 games for the Houston Cougars. It's just through the hole and into right field. They're going to wave Murray, and the Cougars are on the board in the top of the first on a 2-run single by Jones. Very aggressive approach for Houston in this top of the first against Austin Eaton.
Yeah, no doubt. Big tools from Trey Jones. He's one of those guys you just love to watch swing the bat. Kind of gives you that little bit of a Darryl Strawberry look with the height he has. But yeah, a lot of power, a lot of speed. A lot of questions about why he's not playing pro ball now, but he'll get that shot after this season for sure.
Reynes and Murray score, and it's already 2 runs in the top of the first for Houston. And here's Kenneth Jimenez, designated hitter, hits it back up the middle. And that's going to be out number 2 at first. Good play by Powell behind the bag at second. Jones was on the move, and again, Houston aggressive. And I've got to know a lot of the Houston Cougars, obviously. Todd Whitting, and Whitting, he had talked about this term called pressure ball. And I said it's little ball. He goes, no, it's pressure ball. You like to put pressure on the defense, put the runners in motion, and make the defense make the plays.
Yeah, no doubt. That's really Todd Whitting's MO. He loves to have an athletic club. You see that in this year's version of the Cougars. These guys not only have power at the top lineup, but each one of them can run well.
Here's their veteran senior leader, Anthony Tulmero. Backstop. And he's down the count 0-2.
And the Cougars jumping on Austin Eden early. A couple of mistake pitches out over the middle of the plate, but when we talk about the sharp command, sometimes you can come out with command that's too much around the plate.
Well, yeah, and that's, you know, you want to have that first pitch strike, but you don't want to always give it so good that where they're aggressively swinging and putting it in the ball in play and getting base hits.
Well, I think that's where the scouting reports come in. You know, when you face an aggressive lineup like Houston has, you just know early in the count you don't want to make mistakes out over the plate, even though you're trying to work ahead.
0-2 to Tomero. Checks his swing. Runner goes to third base and safe. Stolen base for Trey Jones, and Jones showing the athletic speed that he has.
Yeah, great jump by Trey Jones at second base, and yeah, not much of a chance for August Ramirez to throw him out. That was just a good read off the pitcher. He had that base stolen even with a perfect throw. Third baseman Lugo going up to keep it in play.
To the third baseman Lugo, and that'll retire the side as Houston gets 2 runs on 3 hits. They strand a runner at third base, and it's Houston 2 and Texas State just now coming into bat. Time to look at the starting lineup for the Texas State Bobcats, and Ryan Farber, center fielder, will lead it off, followed by first baseman Alec Patino. DH is Rashawn Galloway, batting cleanup and catching August Ramirez. Left fielder Cameron Thompson follows him, and then the second baseman Chase Mora bats 6th. Hitting 7th and playing third base, Aaron Lugo. Shortstop Davis Powell hitting 8th, and rounding out the lineup for Stephen Trout, right fielder Cade Manning. That's the 9 on the scorecard for the Texas State Bobcats. And we're taking a look at Jackson Jelkin, the right-hander for the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, the 6'5" junior from Omaha, one-time Cornhusker. Jelkin has really blossomed into the headliner for this Cougar staff. He's a bit untested on Friday nights as a starter, but his stuff is real. He was up to 94, 95 with the heater. Complements that with a slider and a changeup, but he is off to a strong start this season for Houston. In his first 2 starts against Binghamton and St. John's, only gave up 3 runs in 8 1/3 innings against those 2 clubs, while striking out 13 and walking only 1.
Jelkin, tall right-hander, and the first pitch to Farber is outside for ball 1. And Farber, one of the players that we highlighted in the beginning, and he is one that people are going to watch throughout this tournament to see how well he can perform and can keep that hot streak going, as Farber coming in hitting over 500, 556 to start the season. He started and played in all 8 games for Texas State.
Well, oftentimes with a young player, you look at, is this just a lucky start? Did the light bulb go off? What happened here? But, Ryan Farber had a monstrous fall for Texas State. Steve Trout, his head coach, said it's just carried on into the spring. He has been the best hitter in this lineup true freshman, but the catalyst as the leadoff hitter for this Bobcat offense.
The on-base percentage, .684. The slugging percentage, .704. I mean, he has really started like, he's just, as Milo Hamilton, the old Astro broadcaster, would say, he's hotter than a depot stove. And that he certainly is.
Yeah, posting right now the top batting average for a freshman with over 15 at-bats on the season.
And we also talked about, Pat, about how Texas State has fallen behind, and well, they did so in the top of the first, giving Houston 2 runs, and so they're going to want to try to have a good answer to the bottom of the first against this right-hander Jelkin. Full count pitch. Farber will see another one. And as you play throughout a season, you fall behind early, sometimes it can get in your head.
Yeah, it can. I think it's early enough in the season where you hope that's not the case with Texas State, but certainly their offense has had to fight back with these early deficits, and they'll have to do it again today.
Well, it looks like Farber, so far in this first couple of pitches that we have seen, covers the plate well. And there's been some pitches where Jelkin thought maybe he could get him out, and Farber has spoiled him.
Yeah, a couple of good pitches down in the zone that were spoiled. A breaking ball inside, and Farber pulled it foul. But he is keeping the at-bat alive.
3-2. And he's going to go to first base. That's a hit by pitch. He didn't go around on the swing, and official score ruled hit by pitch.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball that starts out inside and just continues breaking towards the leg of Farber. Catches him on that back knee. Maybe a little bit above the knee there, but on the check swing, Eric Gaucher said it did not go around, so he will earn first base via hit batter.
Mentioned Gaucher is over at third base. Roy Gregson is calling the balls and strikes today. There's Alec Patino. Patino's had a good start to the season too. 407. Texas State with some really good hitters in their lineup. Texas State a record of 5-3. They played some good competition too. They went up and played TCU in a non-conference game earlier.
Yeah, that's the the RPI that comes into play. Of course, you get towards the end of the season, that becomes a much bigger topic. But even now, we can talk about this weekend, why it's so important for these coaches, because every team here obviously will have a really solid RPI towards the end of the season, and you're playing competition in this tournament that's going to help that number. Of course, that's the number that the NCAA committee looks at when they're choosing teams for regionals.
2-1. Well, so far we've seen Jelkin, and he looks like around the plate. Obviously the hit by pitch, but he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, it's 3 really good pitches, and he has command of all 3. You're seeing that early here in his start, even with the hit batter to start the game with Farber.
Takes his time, and he goes over to first base. Last year, Major League Baseball incorporated the pitch clock. College baseball has the pitch clock now, but the difference is there's the rule changes where they wouldn't allow the shift in Major League Baseball. You can still shift in college baseball and throw to first as many times as you'd like. Check swing, does he go? He does not. Eric Gaucher says nope, he didn't go around, palms down. So Patino, second straight batter that Jelkin has gone to a full count pitch. And let's see. They're mighty close.
Yeah, really close. It's one of those ones that could have gone either way, but Patino holds. And Patino, not your prototypical first baseman in terms of size, only stands 5'11". But boy, is he been good with the bat. Finished last season hitting .325 with 8 home runs. A lot of power in that body type.
Strikeout and safe on the stolen base, Farber. Farber gets his second stolen base this season, and that's 1 out. And Patino going back to the dugout over at first base. Check this pitch again.
Yeah, Cougars catcher Tomero had to sit back and wait for that breaking ball to complete. And a pretty good jump by Farber. Was a bag at second base. He'll slide in safely, but Jelkin gets his first strikeout of Patino.
One away. Galloway. Strike called for Sean Galloway, designated hitter. Galloway's got all that protective gear on. Lifts it in the air. And this is going to be Nickens in center field. Gets it back into the infield quickly and holding Farber at second base. Highlighting the Houston Cougar defense. Got on the right side with Murray and Cole. Left side, Reyes Lopez out there in center field. We just saw Nickens make that play. Jones in right, Reese in left. Tomero, the veteran catcher, behind the plate. And it's Jackson Jelkin on the mound. Galloway flying out. So 2 away. It's Ramirez, their catcher. Texas State. August Ramirez. Now he's had a nice start to the season. It's down and in for a ball. Runner in scoring position, Farber. Hit by pitch. 2 away, and he's there at second with that stolen base. Into right field and right at Jones. And Jelkin pitches around a leadoff hit by pitch. Astros Foundation College Classic, the schedule for today, obviously going on now with the Houston Cougars and the Texas State Bobcats. And then the middle game, Louisiana and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, one of the top-ranked teams in the nation. And then in the nightcap, LSU and Texas. That's the schedule today for the Astros Foundation College Classic.
Yeah, I can imagine the LSU-Texas game tonight. That's going to be rocking. There may be 35,000, 40,000 people here at Minute Maid.
Well, you know, they talked about, as Cole takes a ball, they talked about the attendance record, and maybe this is the tournament that they break the attendance record in which they had a couple of years ago in 2022. This is lifted foul and out of play. You know, that tournament featured LSU and Texas, and that was some good baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. And, of course, LSU fans turn out loud and strong, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of burnt orange here in the stands tonight as well.
Well, that's one of the things about this tournament that has been so special over the years is just great college baseball program after program that teams, you're going to see a couple of teams maybe get to the Super Regional and then on to Omaha in June. that come from this tournament that play here in early March. This tournament started in 2001. This ballpark opened in 2000, and then in 2001 the tournament started, and the Houston Cougars were a part of it. Fly ball, Thompson in left. He's got a beat on it, and Cole retired for out number 1 to start the top of the second.
And I start for Austin Eaton in the second, recovering from the 2 runs given up in the first inning. I got knocked around a little bit. That big swing from Justin Murray, the double against the wall, and got the offense going for the Cougars. But I kept that fastball in on the hands of Cole, and looks like Eaton is settled in here nicely to start the second.
You know, pitching in a ballpark, major league ballpark, it got the nerves a little bit. I would think that there's a strike to Alex Lopez. Probably Eaton hadn't pitched in a ballpark this size, and kind of just slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, that's always a key, especially with a guy like Austin Eaton, who, you know, came in, was recruited as a position player, so has not been pitching a long time.
Fair ball down the right field line, and Lopez is going to go to second. That was just inside the right field, down the first base side.
Well, the first baseman for the Bobcats, Alec Patino, was pulled over towards second base, so there was a lot of room there between the first baseman and that right field line. Ball was not hit especially hard off the bat of Lopez, but it's perfectly hugging the bag there, and it got down and rattled the stands over in right field. A little trouble for Cade Manning to pick it up, but would have been a double anyway.
So Eaton's going to have to go from the stretch again, and number 9 hitter Cameron Nickens. Second double for the Cougars. In the first inning, Murray got a double, and then eventually a run scored.
Yeah, Nickens gives Todd Whitting a really valuable veteran piece at the bottom of his lineup. Play multiple outfield positions, but just one of those experienced bats coming off a solid season from last year.
Eaton comes with credentials. Obviously, he was the pitcher of the year in Region 14 in JUCO last season.
Yeah, one of the better seasons for a junior college pitcher in the country last season.
Yeah, he went 11-0.
Yeah, unblemished record, and about 6 complete games. You don't ever see that in baseball anymore, right, Gerald? A lot of CGs.
Yeah, two-way player. So both these guys on the mound, very aggressive. Strike called. It's interesting because, you know, for a long stretch, you didn't see a two-way player, and now you're seeing more and more of that. Of course, Shohei Ohtani at the major league level, making that more of a glamorous thing.
Yeah, I think the level of training for these players now versus what we had 20 years ago, and of course there's a coach for every body part, it seems like, in terms of strength and conditioning. But no, these players are in much better shape. They're more versatile. You know, you rarely see those big body guys anymore. It's just good training, good nutrition, and yeah, especially at these D1 Power 5 programs, they've got you know, multiple coaches on staff. Now, when you look at the baseball staffs, you might see 5, 6 coaches and support staff, and that's just something you hadn't seen, you know, 15, 20 years ago.
Full count, and he gets him. Cut on and missed. Second strikeout for Eaton.
Yeah, good fastball there from Eaton. Registered 92 on the gun and goes uphill against Nickens. Kind of a center cut fastball. Nickens just missed it.
And you're gearing up for those fastballs, and sometimes the off speed comes in. It can throw off your timing, and obviously, and that's what pitching is throwing off the timing, and hitting is timing. Top of the order, Jake Reynes, the shortstop. Now you see Eaton. We'll take a look at that again, but Eaton continuously looking down at his wrist. And Pat, explain to the viewers what that is on his wrist.
Well, it's a pitch-com system, and a lot of colleges have gone to that. Either the intercom system between the bench and the catcher, or the pitch-com with the wristband. And that's what he is looking down at. So the pitch comes in from the bench, and both pitcher and catcher have the wristband, as well as sometimes multiple position players will have those as well. That's how he gets the pitch, and there's no sign given now from the catcher with that pitch-con system. So it's really helpful to keep teams from stealing pitches and stealing your signs.
1-1. That's in there for a strike. Reynes started off with an infield single. Powell's shortstop couldn't throw him out, and then eventually scored on the RBI two-run single by Trey Jones, giving the Cougars the 2-0 lead. In for strike three. Couple of good fastballs from Eaton in this second inning, and a couple of strikeouts for the right-hander as Texas State comes up next in the bottom of the second inning, trailing 2-0. Fans enjoying themselves here at Minute Maid Park. We're taking in the Texas State Bobcats and Houston Cougars. Texas State coming up to bat in the bottom of the second inning. And so far, tell you what, even though he gave up a couple of runs in that first inning, Austin Eaton pretty impressed by that right-hander, especially after the strong second inning he had. So we'll see what happens here with Jackson Jelkin. And the umpires getting together now over on the first base side.
Yeah, not quite sure what that's about, but crew chief Doug Williams on the headset by the Texas State dugout, checking on something, but not quite sure what it is.
Well, we've been doing this tournament a couple of years, Pat, you know, a time or two, and it's always a good time with college baseball and great programs, and the Astros do an outstanding job. The Astros Foundation College Classic, and just very privileged to be a part of this tournament.
Yeah, it's a great host here in Houston with the Astros, and always put on a great show. And of course, their first time with their title name, the Astros Foundation, on this tournament. But yeah, one of the premier tournaments in college baseball, Gerald, and you're right, we get to see some great teams this entire weekend. And you're right also in pointing out that there could be multiple teams out of this tournament that make it to the postseason, potentially to a College World Series. And you look at the staff the pitching staff that Texas has. Vanderbilt really strong in that department. Yeah, looking forward to seeing some great pitching this weekend.
And there's two ways to look at it too. If you're a college coach, yeah, you want to play in this tournament because you want to measure up to other schools and to see where you stand as a program. Then on the flip side, you may come out 0-3 very easily.
Yeah, and that would be disappointing. You don't want to lose all three games here, but again, from the standpoint of the competition level and the boost to your RPI number, these coaches are more than happy to play this level of competition this weekend.
Cameron Thompson stands in after the delay. We're ready to go in the bottom of the second inning, and Jelkin, his first pitch, it's a strike called.
Yeah, this tournament has that regional feel to it. When you talk to the head coaches, most of them will tell you that, you know, trying to come in and prepare for 3 different teams in 3 days, that's a challenge on these staffs. But it's also gives you some early season, you know, look at what the postseason could be, because that's exactly what happens when you get to a regional. You're having to prepare for 3 different teams, and you know who you're playing the first day. You don't know who you're playing that second day. So these coaching staffs had to prepare and work overtime getting ready for this type of play.
Every college program, I would think that they want to have good depth, as this one is punched into center field and through for a base hit as Thompson leads off the bottom of the second. But, you know, the depth, especially from the pitching side, because when you get into May and June, you need that depth in a regional tournament.
That's exactly right. And so these bullpens will also get tested this weekend. And, you know, how these coaches set that up is also important. You know, who do you use day 1 versus day 2 or 3, and which guys can you bring back? But Thompson gets a little bit jammed on that pitch from Jelkin, but able to muscle it out to center field for the leadoff hit.
Chase Mora aggressively swings at the first pitch, and he fouls it off. Now, that pitch that Thompson hit, that was on the inner half of the plate, and doesn't always feel good, and especially the way that it went out into center field doesn't feel good on the hands. But you know what? When you're 1 for 1, you'll take it.
Yeah, the sting goes away quick when it goes for a base hit. We talked about it's a little chilly this morning to start this game, but it's supposed to warm up throughout the day. But most of the players not wearing sleeves today, so they're not feeling it.
Went after an off-speed pitch and skies it. Nickens again in center will put it away, 1 away. Now players, and you can always kind of measure how they feel by what they're wearing on the field, and yeah, I don't see many long sleeves out there. Of course, up here in the booth, we were told we could put our coats back on after we are on camera, but we don't have to worry about it. We're comfortable. So.
Yeah, it's game time, man. It's yeah, you got to get ready and go.
Third baseman Aaron Lugo against Jackson Jelkin. Jelkin, he's tall. He's 6'5". And when he was in high school, he was 6 foot and 125 pounds.
Wet.
Yeah, wet. He really worked hard at the weights his senior year, and he got up to 175. And he had an outstanding senior year in high school. He's from Nebraska, and of course he went to play for his state college, Nebraska. He always wanted to grow up to be a Cornhusker, and he had such a good senior season that they allowed him to fight for a walk-on spot, and he threw his freshman year 11 1/3 innings. Then he transferred to JUCO, and here he is now in his junior season at Houston. Drafted last year by the Dodgers, but elected to come to Houston, swing and a miss. And that's a swinging strikeout.
Well, Jelkin off to a good start, and you can see why. The stuff is really good. And you know, he's sitting right now 92, 94 with the fastball, but the off-speed pitch, the slider's been outstanding.
And he said, you know, working with the weights, he really increased his velocity, as you would imagine, and because he always had the good control, but now he's able to put some velocity and some hair on that fastball, so to say. And that's really helped his development.
Well, I still think there's a lot left in the tank, too. You know, they list him at 190. I think that might be pushing it. But you can imagine if he, once he starts to fill out and get back in that weight room each season, there's no doubt his fastball can get up to the upper 90s here in no time. And I think that's what the Dodgers saw, obviously, when they drafted him. He's a pretty complete pitcher in the moment, but there's more in there.
Davis Powell, shortstop. He's got good footwork too, and we've seen him throw over to first base several times, and looks like he can pick off a runner or two. Sometimes that's overlooked as part of a pitcher's game is the fielding and the throwing around to the bases. And there goes Tolmero's throw to second base. He's out. Good throw by Tolmero. They got a stolen base against him in the last inning, but he guns down the runner Thompson to end the bottom of the second inning. The 2024 season tickets are on sale now. Catch every home run, every double play, and every game of the 2024 season by becoming an Astros season ticket holder and get access to every postseason game. Visit astros.com/season tickets to learn more. Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs from Minute Maid Park. Opening game of the 2024 Astros Foundation College Classic, and top of the third for the Houston Cougars. And number 2 hitter is Austin Reese. Reese struck out looking against Austin Eaton. To the right side, and Ace Reese is out, number 1.
Well, quick out of Reese, and Austin Eaton could use a quick inning. 39 pitches coming into this inning. Had to labor a bit. Of course, the first inning went a bit long with a couple of runs given up. Settled back in the second inning, only giving up the double to Lopez, and he could sure use a quick one to keep that pitch count down.
Well, we talked about how good he looked in that second inning. Yeah, you had a couple of strikeouts, and I think the laboring of the pitch count came in that first inning, as you mentioned. So this is his chance to extend himself a little bit. He hadn't gone deep in his first 2 games.
Well, you get a tournament like this, and you definitely need a big Friday start to try to save those bullpen innings.
Joined with Stephen Trout, head coach of the Texas State Bobcats. Stephen, it's always good to catch up.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Got to like what you see Eaton in that second inning. He struggled in that first, but came with a couple of strikeouts in the second.
Yeah, started locating his fastball a little bit better. You know, last time out had a rough first and then kind of got settled in. So hopefully calm the nerves a little bit, start executing a little bit better. And he's really good when he's getting ground balls. So that's the result we want. So hopefully he can start locating some fastballs and then get us to the 5th or 6th, something like that, get us through this game a little bit.
Hey, Steve, Pat Combs here. What a start by Ryan Farber. He's got to be one of the top freshmen in the country. But what's the secret sauce you see with Farber?
He's just a really good baseball player. He doesn't overlook it or overthink it, and keeps it really simple. He's really smart, 4.0 student, but really smart baseball player. Really knows the game. He's definitely ahead of his years, and really keeps it simple in there in the box. He's a kind of an old school hitter with really good hands and uses the whole field from both sides of the plate. So, yeah, he's off to a great start, and hopefully he continues.
Looking ahead this season for you and in your conference, it's another competitive conference. Coach.
It is. You know, Sun Belt, I think we finished top 5 last year, the RPI, as a conference, and so really excited to battle again. Every day you got to show up and get after it, and you know, you go to some great environments, some great programs, great facilities, and obviously really good players. And so, yeah, you get in Sun Belt play, it's just as tough as weekends like we're facing this weekend.
Stephen, you know, the camaraderie that you have in this game, and of course across the dugout on the other side is Todd Whitting, and you were on his staff back in 2011. It just seemed like the other day.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's you know, I started with him in 06 at TCU as he recruited me and coached me, and then hopped on his staff there in 2011. And obviously he's done a phenomenal job with the Houston program, team-wise and facilities-wise and everything. But yeah, a little full circle. I was here, I think in 2011. We played in the tournament as well, and now we're back here facing each other.
Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the tournament.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Stephen Trout, head coach of the Texas State Bobcats, and you know what he's done with that program. Of course, you know, he was on an assistant after Ty Harrington was there for many years, and now he has taken over.
Yeah, he's done a great job here with Texas State, and of course Ty Harrington, we've known him for a long time. Great all-time coach there with the Bobcats, and now doing some broadcasting himself. But Stephen has done a great job taking over. Of course, as you mentioned, the former TCU player, and also named after Steve Trout, the former Cubs pitcher.
Yeah.
Good story behind that. But no, he's done a great job, and you know, that Sun Belt Conference, that's a good baseball conference. And of course, with realignment, they've even added a couple of other additional teams that are strong in baseball. So Texas State looking to compete well in that conference this season and try to get back to a regional.
You know, and that program really has just flourished over the years. And, you know, Ty Harrington, and we talked about him, and you're just around him, and just baseball knowledge comes out, doesn't it? Yeah,
no doubt. Longtime head coach, and of course a great player back in his day, University of Texas. He's done great. But yeah, you think about Texas State just a couple of seasons ago, maybe a pitch or two away from a College World Series berth. So this program is on the rise.
Into right field. This ball is going to be at the warning track, and Jones flies out. Jones flirting with long ball. Murray goes back to first base. 2 away.
Yeah, you know, Trey Jones just missed that.
The wind's not really blowing very much at all. You got the flags out in center field. Sometimes when we come in, that wind is blowing in from the south. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, that ball took off the bat. Thought it might have a chance, but Jones comes up just short. Gave it a ride, though.
Jimenez. Every time we go down to their ballpark, it's always a great experience. Texas State. San Marcos. They have played. This is the 3rd time that they have played in this tournament. A couple of years ago they played, and record of overall is 3-3. They're 500, holding their own.
They are. They not afraid to play Power Fives, and those midweek contests, they get to do that more often. But that Sun Belt's going to offer an additional chance for those RPI numbers to go up for them this year.
On the infield, and that's going to be the 3rd out as Lugo puts it away, and Jimenez pops up. Middle of the 3rd. Coming back to Minute Maid Park, the Astros Foundation College Classic, as we go to the bottom of the third inning with the Cougars over the Bobcats 2-0. And Pat, we were talking about that great tournament a couple of years ago, attendance-wise, 53,879. And with the teams that we have in this tournament, we could break that tournament record, attendance-wise.
Yeah, I think it's the party's going to get started tonight, although it looks like the party got started this afternoon or maybe this morning with the opening shot. Fans here having a good time, breaking out the beer already. But, yeah, no doubt that the game tonight is going to be a big one with Texas LSU. And of course, you got Vanderbilt, you know, with the great college baseball history. But, yeah, a lot of good competition and a couple of teams here that travel really well with their fan base.
You know, that's going to be a series that we're going to be seeing on a regular basis come next year with Texas and LSU because of the Texas move over to the SEC.
Yeah, how about that? That SEC West. I mean, that is going to be murderer's row in baseball.
Davis Powell leading it off the bottom of the third inning for Texas State. And think about the progression of college baseball, especially in the last 20-25 years, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, the sport has definitely grown in college, but you know, when you consider that, you know, 20-25 years ago you might catch a college game maybe once on the weekend televised. Now it seems like every game in the SEC is televised. The Big 12 certainly, you know, ESPN is really taken over kind of that college baseball scene, but it's promoted, you know, and you love it too because it gets the young people excited when they see their college heroes on TV every day and every game. So it's really grown in a lot of ways.
Well, the game is promoted, and I think that the quality of play has improved. You have now kids that have played their entire lives of select ball and travel ball, and they're playing year-round, is where when I was younger that you didn't have that. You played your baseball over the season, and then that was it. So they're playing more. They're getting more reps out there. Yeah,
no doubt. And the level of competition has gotten better and better as you see in college summer travel ball. It allows these players an opportunity to play some of the country's best at these various tournaments and venues.
Cade Matting, the number 9 hitter for Texas State.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Cade compete this weekend. He is a longtime neighbor in Southlake. He grew up, played for the Dragons, and then on to Texas State, 5th-year player for the Bobcats. Had a really solid career. And now you see a shift on by the Houston defense. Third baseman Alex Lopez shifting over towards that second base position as Harold Cole moves over to short right field.
That's something else that has changed in the game of, I'll call it across the board, but now in college, the analytics and the shifting and things like that have really changed the game too, and for the better.
No doubt, and these coaches will tell you the scouting reports and the material that's available is incredible at the college level now. As Manning takes strike 3, called third strike. Fastball catches the inside corner.
Oh, that was really good movement right there from Jelkin. And he's recorded the last 3 strikeouts in a row and 4 overall. See a look at that pitch.
Good frame by Anthony Tillamero, the Cougar catcher. Might have been a little bit down below the kneecaps, but he picked it up nicely, gave a good show for Ray Gregson, and he gets rung up.
There's Farber. Farber hit by a pitch his first time up. Second time through the lineup, and through the first time through the lineup, what have you seen from Jackson Jelkin, Pat?
Yeah, a good mix of pitches. He's done really well keeping these Bobcat hitters off balance. The fastball's good. It's advertised as mid-90s. He's sitting 92, 94 with it, but look, the slider has been the out pitch, and it's been really nasty. He's been able to throw it at any count.
Meanwhile, Ryan Farber, a freshman sensation. Just really going to be looking forward to seeing him play over these next 3 games for Texas State. Fooled on that pitch on the swing and miss.
And there's just an example of Jelkin throwing that slider behind the count. swing and miss from Farber. Sitting dead red fastball and didn't get it.
2-2. Got him. He strikes out the side. 4 strikeouts in a row for Jelkin and 5 in the game, as he has blanked Texas State through the first 3 innings. Single game tickets for the 2024 season are on sale now. Make sure you get your tickets to see your Houston Astros on their relentless pursuit for baseball's biggest prize. Visit astros.com/tickets to get yours today. Moving along to the top of the 4th, Houston Cougars sending up their catcher Anthony Tullamero. Tullamero had a really good throw to end the 2nd inning. He's the backstop for Houston, and so important. He's kind of like that extension of the coach in the dugout. An important catcher, and that's what Tullamero has been for the Houston Cougars and Todd Whitting.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been a key player for the Cougars last couple of years and really counted on by Todd Whitting and his staff. He's super smart behind the plate, runs the game well, just a great leader. Good all-around player.
That's why you see so many head coaches or managers at the big league level, former catchers.
Yeah, it's funny how it works out that way, right?
1-2 on the way. Do you have a favorite guy that you used to throw to, maybe Dutch?
Yeah, Darren Dalton was I think very similar in that vein. You know, just really ran the game well, understood his pitchers and the staff, and you know, was really good on scouting reports as well. He was one of those guys you just counted on. I rarely had to shake him.
That's always so important, especially for a young pitcher. You know, you got that calming influence behind the plate that you can trust totally. You're not going to have to worry, especially maybe if you got a breaking pitch and you're worried about maybe it going in the dirt. You know, he's going to have you. Yeah,
that trust factor between pitcher and catcher is huge. It's a big deal.
Ramirez making the play right there. Speaking of catchers, 1 away.
Nice athletic move by August Ramirez. Had to pop out quick. That ball was not up in the air very long off the bat of Tullamero, and he kind of got jammed on it. Just popped out quickly, makes an easy catch for out number 1.
And that's sometimes it's not as easy as it looks when a ball is spinning behind home plate and you've got to throw up that mask and go to the backstop.
You got to find it quick, especially in a play like that.
Probably in all of sports, one of the most underrated positions, the catcher. Cole. 1-1.
Yeah, Cole's been a nice pickup for Todd Whitting as well. Coming over from Arkansas, played for the Razorbacks last season. He's solid with the glove. Now looking to be more consistent with his bat.
One and two. But Austin Eaton settled down a little bit. He's retired the last 3 he has faced. See him take a deep breath. That's one of the things that they talk about, is learning how to breathe. It's just taking your time. Ball comes right back up this way. Almost coming in our booth. Bring a fishnet.
Yeah, I did bring the glove today.
But getting back to that, though, that learning how to breathe, calm yourself out there. That's it's very important. And you know, you hear people say that the game of baseball is slow and not a lot goes on. When you're on the field, that game moves so fast.
That's right. Well, there's no doubt. I mean, you got fastballs coming at you nowadays, even in college, mid-90s, upper 90s, with some of these arms. And yeah, it's a fast game, and ball coming off the bat, you got to be on your toes and alive all the time.
In there for strike 3. 4th strikeout for Eaton, and 3 of the 4 have been looking.
Yeah, nice
Cole.
front door slider. Yeah. Yep. And it's been the breaking pitch for Cole, or for Austin Eaton, that's working. Just freezes Cole there, and good pitch, well framed by Ramirez. Out number 2.
Alex Lopez. When you're a hitter and that breaking pitch comes in there, dances in there, you know you've been had. Center fielder Farber. 1, 2, 3 for Eaton, settling down as we're in the middle of the 4th. Back at Minute Maid Park, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cougars got 2 runs in the top of the 1st, and they have made it stick to this point. Jackson Jelkin, starting pitcher for Houston, is going to face 2, 3, and 4 for Texas State. Alec Patino to lead off. We mentioned Texas State. This is the 3rd time in this tournament. They are 3-3 overall. Meanwhile, Houston, they have been here a time or 2. They were one of the original teams that played in this tournament way back in 2001. In fact, they played in this tournament from 2001 to 2016. Them and Rice played in the tournament every year. Took a couple of years off, or actually a year off, and then they came back for 18 and 19. This is the first time they have played in this tournament since 2019. And overall, their record for the Houston Cougars, they've won 20 games in this tournament, losing 34. Yeah,
it used to be really the kind of the hometown tournament with Houston and Rice, and they would invite 4 other teams in. It was oftentimes the old Southwest Conference battles that they would bring those types of schools in. There's a lot of fan bases here in Houston with those local colleges and colleges around the state.
For our viewers, you just hit I think you just hit a key note right there. Southwest Conference. That was some great baseball over the years.
Yeah, one of the premier baseball conferences. You know, at the time, of course, multiple College World Series championships for Texas, and they were always the team to beat back in the old Southwest Conference days.
A&M, and of course, you had, you know, TCU, and Arkansas was a good program.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Baylor had their years, but Houston always strong. I think back to when Coach Bragg Stockton was in charge of the Cougars, and always competitive teams. Todd Whitting has built upon that legacy.
Back up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Not in time. Patino beats it out. And I think that ball hit back off the back of the mound, or maybe got a bit of Jelkin's glove that slowed it down. Because if he doesn't touch it, or if that doesn't hit the back of the mound, Reynes makes that play at short.
Yeah, I think that would have been an out. You're exactly right, Gerald. And looked like Jelkin might have gotten his glove on it and did slow it down just a bit. Reynes had to make an adjustment as he was coming in to field it. Maybe not. Maybe that did help just the top of the rubber, but whatever it hit, it slowed down enough where Reynes had to make an adjustment, and the throw not in time.
That's the second hit for Texas State. And Galloway fouls it off. We talk about the progression of college baseball. Back in the day in the Southwest Conference, the two nicest ballparks were Dish Falk in Austin and Olson at A&M, and everybody else played in. They wouldn't think about playing in those ballparks today. You remember the old Cougar Field with the chain link fence and the the
high school stands.
Yeah, Cameron Field and Rice. Baylor had before the ballpark that they play in now. And so all those ballparks, the facilities, they elevated quite a bit.
Yeah, there's no doubt that you know, now of course with realignment and the Big 12, of course, is still a very strong baseball conference, and SEC. It's hard to believe that Texas, obviously longtime member of the Southwest Conference, and then Big 12 now will be moving to the SEC with Oklahoma next season. A couple of big losses for the Big 12 in baseball, but they've replaced with a number of good schools. And then next season, Arizona State will join, as well as Utah. So baseball again in the Big 12 will be very strong.
Swing and a miss, and Galloway cuts through a high fastball. I'm unable to make contact with it, and Jelkin again with yet another strikeout. 6 strikeouts for Jackson Jelkin. One away with Ramirez, the catcher. Breaking pitch dances in for a strike.
Well, Jelkin has been everything that Todd Whitting told us he would be. He's coming out firing fastballs, low to mid 90s, but slider, changeup. Has not had to use a changeup often. We've seen a couple of those to left-handed hitters, but that slider has been really good. He has been spotting it up well.
One of the biggest things that a pitcher can have is command of his stuff. And when you have that you're ahead of the game. But on the flip side there, that we've seen Austin Eaton really turn it up too. He struggled in that first inning, giving up the couple of runs, but some of those pitches were not bad pitches. Cougars just put better swings on him, I think.
Yeah, he has bounced back well and kept himself in the game here.
Off the glove of Murray, but he'll recover. 2 away. Meanwhile, Patino advances to second base. Ramirez doing his job, putting the ball on the right side, getting his runner over 90 feet into scoring position.
Well, Justin Murray, the Cougars' first baseman, did not field that cleanly, but kept it nearby and able to flip it over to Jelkin. Jelkin doing a good job of covering the bag and getting the second out of the inning.
Cameron Thompson, left fielder. But again, first pitch, strike one. That's so important too for pitchers to get ahead in the count, and you're pitching ahead in the count 0-1, 0-2, 1-2.
Yeah, Jelkin has done that consistently.
Into center field, but no advancement by Patino. Hicken gets it back into the infield. Fortunate right there, and Texas State wishes Patino could be at third base.
Yeah, Jelkin trying to back pick Patino, at least trying to keep him close. Potential base hit to the outfield slows him down a little bit in terms of extra steps. Thompson, the hitter for Texas State, transferred from Purdue. A strong physical hitter in the middle of this lineup for Steve Trout.
That's one of the things that we talked about with Coach Trout, about the transfers coming in and making a difference on the roster. And with the transfer portal now, and with other things factoring in, that your roster in college baseball has more of a turnover than it used to.
Oh, a ton, yeah. With the transfer portal, and of course with that NLI money floating around, you're seeing more and more of young players getting in that transfer portal, and yeah, some for good reason, some that maybe get stuck behind a couple of players and want more playing time.
That's going to be a foul ball, well struck, but what a good play by a fan wearing a Yankee jersey.
Nice catch down there. He came prepared, got the glove. He was ready. Yankee jersey over the LSU t-shirt. That's a rare combination.
Now you put a Louisiana shirt on there and you have a Yankee jersey, then that automatically comes to mind Ron Guidry.
There you go.
Guidry, great alum of the Ragin' Cajuns, and then stellar career with the Yankees back in the 70s, early 80s. What a play right there.
Nicely done.
Yeah, nice. 2-2. Thompson's been able to work it to a full count. Thompson got a single, but then was gunned down in the second inning to end the second. His first time up.
Louisiana Lightning and Ron Guidry, huh? Name from the past. Yeah.
Thompson comes from a baseball family. His father played college ball at Northeastern State and works it for a walk.
Nice job by Thompson, and battle off a couple of strong pitches.
First walk issued by Jelkin, also to go along with a hit batter. So all of a sudden the tying runs are aboard for the Bobcats in this bottom of the fourth inning. Chase Mora.
Oh, the second walk given up by Jelkin this season. First today, obviously, but great control. That's what has a lot of the Major League scouts excited about Jelkin's future. Here's a first time out of the game. This will be a mound visit for Houston. It's like Sean Kinney, their first-year pitching coach, out of the dugout. Just try to slow the game down a bit for Jelkin, give him a breath. That was a long at bat against Thompson. A couple of really good pitches that Thompson fouled off to keep the at bat alive and give Jelkin a breath.
Well, Houston's had some good pitching coaches throughout the seasons, throughout the years in their history, and with Kenny out there, this is his first year. They also added Woody Williams to their staff, former big leaguer and a former Houston Cougar of the 80s.
Yeah. Woody's down in the dugout, and obviously his last coaching stop was University of Texas. So big pickup for Todd Whitting and his staff.
And before that, he was a coach for many years over for the junior college, San Jack. After the visit, Mora Now it's 2-0.
Well, big time for this offense for Texas State to get going. Longer inning here for Jelkin. And a runner in scoring position for only the second time this game for the Bobcats.
Down the third base line into left field, and Texas State is going to be on the board. Mora, RBI double. Right down the line. Perfect swing by Mora. 2-1 Houston.
Well, right on cue, Chase Mora needed a big 2-out base hit. They get it. It's in the form of a double. Well done by Ace Reese down there fighting that left field corner to get the ball back in to keep Cam Thompson at third base. The Bobcats break through.
Patino coming in to score. Well, he fell behind in the count, and he came in, and Mora jumped all over it. There's Lugo. Tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position for Texas State. Strike called, 1-1.
Yeah, such a luxury for Jelkin to be able to throw that slider in any count.
Lugo 0 for 1. He's started the season well, hitting over 300. Down the count 1-2.
Yeah, Lugo already with 3 home runs on the season.
Transferred from New Mexico Junior College. One-two. Looked like Jelkin held on the ball just a little bit too much, and it went out on the outer half of the plate.
Yeah, just pulled that pitch well off the plate. Lugo standing 5'8", 167 pounds, and still brings a lot of pop there in that 6-hole.
Strike 3. But Texas State on the board. 2-out RBI double by Chase Mora, scoring Patino, and they've cut the Houston Cougar lead in half. The Texas Children's Houston Open returns to the spring on March 28th through March 31st. Get your tickets to see the top PGA Tour players compete at Memorial Park Golf Course. To get your tickets, go to tchouopen.com/tickets. fifth inning. Cameron Nickens, number 9 hitter for Houston, to lead off.
Well, Austin Eaton, the Bobcat pitcher, has settled in. Now 70 pitches in the game, 44 of those for strikes. 62% on his ball to strike ratio, and did a good job of extending this outing. Gerald, it didn't start well for him. He got the 2 runs back in the first inning, but has held the Cougars off the board here in the previous 4.
2-run single by Trey Jones, getting the 2 runs in the first inning for Houston. But as you mentioned, he had a good second inning and has pitched well since then. Zeros across the board. Maybe just kind of finding his way a little bit. And that's something that the theme that I think that Coach Stephen Trout for Texas State opened our conversation with him about. We got to get off to better starts. So we've been falling behind in games and been playing catch up, and it'd be nice to play out in front. Now they've fallen behind here, but they have kept it close in a low line drive. But Thompson in left able to make that play. Nickens hit that ball well, but it's out number 1.
Yeah, it's always the goal, no doubt. Every head coach will tell you that they want to get off to good starts, especially with their starting pitchers. But you also don't want to overplay that, with your staff, especially the starters that have struggled so far this season. That's one area you got to be careful of, not planting things in players' heads where it becomes too much of a big deal.
There's Jake Reynes. Reynes, a transfer from Maine. And Reynes, when he was at Maine, he was under the tutelage of Jeremy Pena.
Oh, there you go.
Jeremy Pena was the shortstop, and then Reynes took over, and in the off seasons, Reynes would work out a lot with Jeremy Pena and really got that. He just really started working out with him and became a better ball player. Of course, Jeremy now the starting shortstop, former MVP of the 2022 World Series for the Astros.
Yeah, not a bad guy to learn from.
Of course, Jeremy Pena, Geronimo played in the big leagues. You might have gone up against Geronimo. He played for the Cardinals in the early 90s. 2-1. Middle infielder. Jeremy Pena talking about changing his swing down in West Palm Beach. Struggled last year. Didn't hit for power like he thought he would.
Well, Reynes has certainly added power. 16 home runs last season for Maine. His 5th year of playing college baseball, and high average guy. Now he's added the pop as well.
Leadoff spot here for Houston, and he swings and misses. And Eaton, another strikeout.
Yeah, 5th on the day for Adam Eaton, or Austin Eaton. But he is, yeah, Adam Eaton, another name for the past.
Yes.
Yeah, good fastball there. Catches the outside corner. A little bit of a cut to it as well. Yes, pulling off that pitch for strike 3.
Here's Reese, Ace Reese. That's a good baseball name, isn't it? Ace Reese.
Ace. A little slightly better for a pitcher, but yeah, we'll take it.
Of course, he wears jersey number 1, Ace. I like that. Base hit to right field, and Reese aboard with 2 outs for Houston in the top of the 5th.
A good piece of hitting there for Reese. Fastball tailing away from him and able to pull it through that hole right past the glove of diving second baseman Chase Mora.
It's the first hit for Houston since a 1-out double by Alex Lopez back in the 2nd inning. Justin Murray.
Well, Austin Eaton now at 82 pitches, so sure Steve Trout trying to work him through this inning, see what they do in the 6th. The pitch count starting to get up there.
He's on a roll there for a little bit. He'd retired 7 in a row before that single by Reese. Got to be careful here with Murray. Murray got a double and then a walk, so he's reached base twice.
Well, the only problem is, with you've got Trey Jones coming up behind Murray. This Cougar lineup, it's, man, pick your poison. Who do you want to pitch to?
Lifted in the air to center. This should do it for the top of the 5th, and it does. Farber putting it away. Murray flying out, and Eaton holding off Houston again on the scoreboard after the 2-run first. Moving along to the bottom of the 5th, the Astros Foundation College Classic. Got some burnt orange already in the stands. Of course, they don't play till tonight against LSU, but they're here to enjoy college baseball all day. And hopefully, if you're in the area, come on out. First pitch to Davis Powell from starting pitcher Jackson Jelkin is fouled off.
Well, the sun is poking its head out. It's starting to warm up. The morning chill is now moving away. So, yeah, it's going to be a great day of baseball. And some of those Longhorn fans out here quite early. They have a long day of baseball.
February 16th. There's Todd Whitting. February 16th hit the calendar. I remember waking up, having a smile on my face, knowing college baseball is back. It was opening day. When you have baseball, you just wake up a little differently.
That's right. Yep, spring is in the air. We're feeling it in Texas, despite this latest little cool front that came through.
Two and two, the count to Powell. Powell 0 for 1, struck out swinging his first time up.
Yeah, Powell back for another season, and one of those players that Steve Trout wasn't sure he'd get back. Really a good shortstop defensively, and also a team best 335 last season.
Yeah, led the team in batting average last year. Hit a home run in his first at bat of the season.
Slider from Jelkin just missed inside.
It's always a good feeling when you get to go long ball in your first at bat of the season. Of course, he did that last year. Full count. And that's a swing and miss. And Jelkin, he's got the strikeout touch today. 8 strikeouts for the right-hander Jelkin.
Yeah, and most of those coming on the slider, and it's, as we've talked about, it been a great pitch, especially down in the zone. A lot of tight spin and bite to it. It's a good tilt for a slider.
Well, you remember from your days on the mound that most swing and misses come with pitches outside the strike zone.
Yeah, and you have to establish the command in order for that to happen. You know, if you're strike one, strike two, like Jelkin has been most of the day, you'll get a lot of swings and misses with pitches late in the count.
Cade Manning. Down the count, 0-1. He's 0 for 1 today. Backs him off the plate. One of the strikeout victims, one of the 8 strikeout victims for Jelkin.
A chance to coach Cade Manning about 5 summers ago. Hard to believe it's been that long.
Yeah, you had mentioned live right around the corner, right?
Old neighbors.
Lifted on the air. Reynes 2 away. Back to the top of the order with Ryan Farber. A lot of times when you see the name Ryan with ball players today, there were the parents, big Ryan Sandberg fans, who want to name their kid after Ryan Sandberg.
I don't know if that's the story, but certainly a good baseball name.
You know, the 40th anniversary of the Sandberg game is coming up this season. When Sandberg put his name and the Cubs on the national map back in 1984. To the right side. And this is going to be a 1-2-3 for Jelkin. So he rebounded quite nicely after giving up a run last inning. Shuts down Texas State. And we're through 5. He's enjoying himself at the ballpark wearing Houston Cougar red. Be a lot of Houston Cougar fans in town for the tournament, as everybody else has got a new pitcher on the mound, and it's Drayton Brown, a right-hander. Brown, 6'3". He's a senior, comes from Hallsville.
Old East Texas boy.
Transferred from Northwestern State.
Yeah, he was good for the Demons last season. Tallied 70 Ks in only 81 in the 3rd innings of work. But you'll see the fastball upper 90s, or I'm sorry, upper 80s, 88 to 90. Has a really good curveball. It's a true 12 to 6. Comes in at about 65 miles an hour, so quite a difference between that fastball and that breaking pitch.
Trey Jones leading off for Houston in the top of the 6th. He's going to pick up where Austin Eaton left off. Austin Eaton, first time this season going 5 innings. And that's one of the things that you want your starter, your Friday starter, to keep stretching him out a little bit more and more. And so good 5 innings for him, allowing up just 2 runs, both coming in the first. Really settled down afterwards.
No doubt. And the key to that was just him keeping himself in the game. And after that rough first inning, did a great job of settling down and keeping the Cougs off the board for 4 innings.
And Brown opens his day with a swinging strikeout, getting Jones to go after an off-speed pitch.
A nice sequence by Brown, setting Trey Jones up. A couple of soft breaking balls to start. Wastes the fastball in and comes back with something soft to finish him off. Brown making his 3rd appearance of the season. He's pitched clean, 5 2/3 innings, only giving up 4 hits, no runs, and struck out 9.
For Northwestern last year, he was a starter. Actually went 1 complete game. Jimenez. That's going to dunk into left field for a 1-out single. Didn't sound all that great off the bat, but into left field, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat for Jimenez, but it's a good job just lifting it over the top of Davis Powell's head at shortstop. 1-out base runner for Houston.
Good plate coverage from Jimenez. So Brown's going to have to go from the stretch. Chilomero. Well, the Cougars moving to the Big 12. Texas State in the Sun Belt. Some good baseball right there.
Yeah, strong baseball conferences for each of these schools, and hard to believe conference play starts up another week.
Houston starting next weekend by playing at home against a 3-game set against the Baylor Bears. Mentioned Baylor struggling a little bit.
1-7. Yeah, worst start since 1971. Had to remind me, didn't you? Nice breaking ball there from Brown. And Brown's one of those pitchers as a hitter, you have to really sit back with that breaking ball, and he's got just enough fastball. If you try to sit on it, he'll get the fastball by you with that upper 80s heater.
Popped up. Mora. 2 away. Mentioned Baylor, and I remember a couple of years ago you and I did those games with Baylor when they beat UCLA. There was a really quick game on that Friday, and then they came back on that Sunday night and beat LSU, the final game of the tournament there.
They did. Yeah, that was quite a tournament. The Bears have been strong in these tournaments, but last couple of seasons, not so much. Of course, we'll see Steve Rodriguez, former head coach at Baylor. He'll be with David Pierce and his Texas staff. 2nd season he's on staff for the Longhorns. And Mitch Thompson, the former Baylor assistant, came over from McLennan. Of course, won a junior college championship in 2021 and trying to rebuild the Baylor Bears.
It's always good to, you mentioned David Pierce, always good to catch up with him. He's a fun guy to talk to. He knows a lot of baseball. Former Houston Cougar.
That's right. Yep. Spent a lot of time here in Houston and coaching at San Jacinto. And Rice.
Ball gets away from the catcher Ramirez, and that's going to allow Cole to reach base. Wild pitch with a strikeout.
It's a good pitch by Brown to finish Cole, but Ramirez could not keep it in front.
Meanwhile, Jimenez goes to second base. Take a look at this again.
Well in front of that breaking ball, and Ramirez tried to backhand stop it, and instead of just getting in blocking position, so unable to come up with the pick, and that cost him a run, or cost him a base runner.
So far in this inning from Drayton Brown, we've seen a steady diet of breaking pitches.
Yeah, that's his out pitch. It's talking about that curveball being in that 66 to 69 mile-an-hour range. And
there's a breaking pitch there. Lopez out in front. Is Ramirez going to be able to make the play? You bet. And that's a scoreless inning from Drayton Brown. Texas State will come up in the bottom half of the inning looking to tie, maybe even take the lead. Join the official kids club of the Houston Astros and sign up for Astros Buddies Club presented by HEB today. For just $38 plus taxes and fees, Buddies Club members receive an exclusive jersey, hat, drawstring backpack, lanyard, and 4 tickets to an Astros game. Visit astros.com/buddies to sign up today. Gerald Sanchez along with Pat Combs and Alec Patino to leading off the bottom of the 6th. Houston leading by a run. And Pat, you were a buddy.
I was an Astro buddy.
Yeah, you were.
I was. Yep. Craig Reynolds was one that I chose, and then Nolan Ryan, of course. If you're a pitcher in Texas and you didn't choose Nolan as your Astros buddy, that was blasphemous. That's had to go with Nolan.
You know, we were mentioning that Ryan for Farber and kids being named after Ryan Sandberg. Well, back in the 80s, a lot of kids were named either Nolan, Ryan, Mike, or Scott.
Funny how that happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I had a really fun moment later sitting down in the office of it's fun when you get to see these guys that you grew up looking up to.
Mickens in center making the play.
Get to stand down and have a conversation with them and tell them that you were they were your Astros buddy. So, yeah, thanks for making me old, right?
Sean Galloway. I remember one time I think you had mentioned Cesar Cedeno. You liked watching Cesar Cedeno play.
I did, yeah. Just thought he had a cool name. Yeah. Great player, though, And then Joe Sambito, watching him in an Astros uniform, and later became my agent.
Sambito, a part of the 1980 Astros that almost got to the World Series, but the Astros got their revenge in 2022, defeating the Phillies.
Yeah, they did, but that was a heartbreaker. I was there for one of those playoff games, and it was that game that went into extra innings. Nolan Ryan well in control of the game, and the Phillies tied it late, won it. I believe it was in the 12th inning. That was, that one stuck for a long time. That hurt.
Galloway, a base hit, and Texas State has the tying run aboard with 1 out. Well, the Houston Cougars, for many years, as you see the base hit here in left field, they would play exhibition games at the Astrodome sometimes against the Astros. back in the 70s. You mentioned that Phillies Astros series. Here's a fun little note for you as catcher Tulomero out to talk to Jelkins. 1980, the Astros and Phillies played that series. Well, that fell on a weekend, and it was a Saturday, which was Game 4. And of course, the Astros, the primary tenant of the Astrodome, playing the Phillies. They get the game. It was an afternoon game, but also the Houston Cougars played their football games at the Astrodome. They were supposed to play a game there that same day. Well, Astros get to play the game. Then they move the college football game with A&M in Houston to 11:56 p.m. a kickoff. Then they got to tear down the field and get it ready for Game 5, for which the Phillies ended up winning. We're going to have a new pitcher for Houston when we come back. Well, the Cougars go to their bullpen, and Jackson Jelkin leaves with a runner over at first base. Jelkin did a great job today.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he finishes 5 1/3 innings. Only gives up 4 hits. Of course, the runner at first base is his responsibility, and Rashawn Galloway, but so far only 1 earned run, a walk, and 8 strikeouts for Jelkin. He gives way to Brendan O'Donnell.
See O'Donnell's numbers there, just 3 1/3 innings in the early part of the season. Lefty coming on.
Yeah, 6'2", 245-pound senior. Transfer from UConn. Originally from Hull, Massachusetts, and makes his way down to Houston. 2024 numbers. He is making his 3rd appearance. Sports a 5.40 earned run average. 3 1/3 innings. He's given up a couple of hits, couple of runs. Punched out 4, walked 3. O'Donnell gets the call. First arm out of the pen for the Cougars today.
Last year, he led the team in games pitched. Had 29 appearances last year and had a record of 4-0. So he'll be facing Ramirez, the catcher, left-handed batter. So you got a lefty-on-lefty matchup with 1 out.
O'Donnell, a matchup lefty. Todd Wooding likes to use him against left-handed hitters, and here he is.
Outer half of the plate, but that just missed to Ramirez.
His fastball will sit 90-91.
Because of where he comes from, of course, he played over up in Connecticut. O'Donnell says he loves hockey. His brother played in college with collegiate hockey. Down the left field line. It's going to be a foul ball. Don't see a lot of that though, where players down here, their hobby is hockey.
Oh man, I'm a great hockey fan. My oldest son played collegiate hockey and got to follow him around for a long time, and it's a great sport. Love watching hockey.
This is a very fast sport, physical. They say that the NHL playoffs are the best postseason of any sport.
Good slider there from O'Donnell. Gets Ramirez out front. Ramirez, a couple of hard hit balls, nothing to show for it. Line drive out to right field in the first inning. That ball was smacked.
And a ball off of Murray's glove at first. Hit that ball well too. 2-2. Got him. Cut on and missed. Another strikeout for Houston Cougar pitching. That breaking pitch looked like it was like a sweeper down and away to a left-handed batter, and you see it so many times, lefty on lefty matchup, and the pitcher fooling the hitter.
Starts outside corner and breaks well off the plate, but just totally fools Ramirez. Nice stop there by Tillamero to keep in front. Couple of outs now in the 6th inning.
Thompson. Tight one here in the bottom of the 6th. Houston getting on the board with a 2-run single by Trey Jones in the 1st inning, and then Texas State getting a run in the 4th. RBI double with 2 outs by Chase Mora, who is on deck.
Couple of breaking pitches back to back by O'Donnell. It's Thompson out front, evens the count.
We talked about O'Donnell and his love of hockey. Well, he actually got an offer to play collegiate hockey, but he chose baseball instead. The 1-1. That comes and hits him. Thompson flings that bat over to the first base side. Not happy with that. Ball just got away from O'Donnell.
Yeah, fastball trying to come inside. You saw where Tillamero had set up inside and catches him on the top of his knee. Yeah, that's going to sting. Saw that ball shoot straight down after it hit that left kneecap.
Well, Chase Mora got the 2-out RBI double to get the Texas State Bobcats on the board in the 4th. Comes up to the plate with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 for 2 for Mora. O'Donnell. Good stop by Tillamero, the catcher.
Well, Steve Trout, the head coach for Texas State, in that 3rd base coaching box. He is going to try to wave Rashawn Galloway around to score, try to tie this game up. But the few head coaches you'll see out on the field in that coaching box. Double-barreled action in the Houston bullpen. Jose Torrealba and Grayson Drezik throwing for the Cougars.
Mora, a local product from Tomball, played his high school ball at Tomball High School. And he delivers a base hit to right field. Right fielder Jones comes up, but they're going to get the run to tie the game, and then throwing out the runner Thompson. Well, Thompson's in there. Lopez got that throw from Jones, and the tying run scores, so it's tied at 2. And then Thompson's able to get back at second base.
Yeah, strong throw from Trey Jones in right field. I thought he might go home with that. Sean Galloway doesn't run especially well, but
let's look at this again.
Home plate. Yeah, it's Jones immediately comes up firing to third. Strong throw, right on the money.
And you see Thompson out in no man's land, and he just got back in there. Yeah. I really thought Thompson was going to be thrown out. But
got it to a big turn there at second base. Just able to get that hand back underneath the tag of Harold Cole.
Lugo, a base hit. Can they take the lead? Thompson comes home. The throw, not in time. And Texas State, with 2 in the bottom of the 6th, have taken a 3-2 lead.
Well, great production out of the bottom third of this order. Chase Moore with the base hit. Now Aaron Lugo follows that up with a base hit. And for the first time in the game, the Bobcats are on top of the Cougars.
Lugo, Lugo the single, and Moore at second base. Thompson scoring that run. Well, coming into the ball game, O'Donnell got that strikeout, but then the hit by pitch extended the inning, and then back-to-back singles by Texas State.
Well, we'll see Sean Kinney out again for the Cougars. More than likely making a pitching change here with O'Donnell.
Well, one of those runs go to Jelkin. The other is O'Donnell.
Well, Jackson Jelkin had the chance to get the win. He'll get a no decision as the Bobcats have turned this game around.
A long hesitation. They haven't signaled yet to the bullpen. And they are. They're going to go to the bullpen as home plate umpire Roy Gregson comes up to break it up. And we will have a new pitcher for Houston to finish the bottom of the 6th. New hurler on the mound, the right-hander Grayson Drezick comes into the ball game, a junior with 215 pounds. You see his numbers right there, a record of 1-0. Drezick inherits runners at first and second. Texas State has come up with 2 runs in this bottom of the 6th inning to take a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, Drezick, pretty solid start so far to his season, making his 4th appearance already. He's thrown 5 innings, given up 4 hits, 4 runs, make 2 of those earned. Has not walked a hitter, struck out 5. Opponent's only batting 190 against him, and he'll feature a fastball at up to 94, along with a slider. Drezick on now to try to keep this lead at 1.
Made 4
Texas State.
Made 4 starts last year for Houston. Overall had 18 appearances. So pitched mainly out of the bullpen. We'll face Davis Powell with Mora at second and Lugo at first for Texas State. 2-out magic. That's how the Bobcats have gotten their runs in the 4th and now in the 6th innings. After Houston had a 2-0 lead, Texas State grabbing a 3-2 lead in the first pitch to Powell in for a strike. Powell 0 for 2. He's down the count 0-2. Both his at-bats have been strikeouts, both swinging in the 3rd and in the 5th. See the defense. Looks like they're playing Powell to pull the ball. Big hole right side. And he drives it into right center field. Jones, he's there, just shy of the track. Powell going opposite field, flirting with extra bases, but Jones closes it down and puts an end to the Texas State rally in the bottom of the 6th. They come up with 2 and take a 3-2 lead. Drayton Brown has been staked to a 1-run lead. We go to the top of the 7th inning from Minute Maid Park. Number 9 hitter Cameron Nickens will be the hitter that Brown sees to start off 7th inning. Texas State a couple of 2-out rallies. Take the 3-2 lead. Nickens a good defensive center fielder. 0 for 2 in today's ball game. This should be out number 1, and Patino will take it to the bag himself.
Well, Gerald, you mentioned earlier Houston off to a great start, 6-0, and then they lost to UTSA this past Tuesday, and going back to Sunday lost to St. John. So a couple of games that they have dropped. Pitching staff really good those first 6. But the last couple they've given up 19 runs, and they only give up 16 runs in their first 6 victories.
Reynes, and that's going to go off the glove of Powell into left field. That's going to be ruled a base hit. Ball struck very well by Jake Reynes, and he hit it to his counterpart over at short, and he's aboard with a 1-out base hit.
Yeah, tough hop for Davis Powell, the shortstop for the Bobcats, and all kind of jumped up on him after that second hop. A lot of top spin on it.
See all the funny hop right there. Well, the top spin. Here's Reese, the left fielder.
That is a tough play.
Well, we started talking about at the beginning of the broadcast about Texas State wanting to get off to a better start. They have fallen behind, and this game in particular, they fell behind in the first inning, but they kept it right where it was. Great pitching from Austin Eaton, the starting pitcher. And then Brown. Brown came on in the 6th. He's pitching in the 7th.
And I'll see if the Cougars have some comeback in them. Top of their order, 4th time around today.
Reese is 1 for 3. Last time up, a base hit to right field. Houston has had base runners on in every inning except the 4th.
Todd Wooding said Ace Reese is one of those players that's a ton of upside potential. Sure likes the start to his career as a freshman here at U of H, and did some comparisons to Texas A&M outfielder Jace LaViolette. Those big frame guys that has a lot of power and has really come on strong. Had a great fall for U of H and now has himself in the middle of this lineup.
Three and 1 to Reese. Comes from the Metroplex area. Full count with 1 out. Murray on deck. This is the part of the lineup where the Cougars have really good numbers. Reese and Murray and then Jones.
Well, Drayton Brown has been really good since he came into the game last inning, and big breaking ball. That's the pitch that usually is his out pitch once he gets ahead.
In for strike 3. Wow. Oh boy. He threw the bat to the third base dugout thinking that was ball 4, and Brown got him on strike 3 looking.
Yeah, Brown sticks with the fastball that time, catches the bottom of the zone according to home plate umpire Ray Gregson. Frame up there by August Ramirez. They get the call. Ace was not happy with that call.
No. And Todd Whitting saying something too to home plate umpire Roy Gregson.
Yep, Gregson has had enough. Did not issue a warning, but chirping back and forth with that dugout.
So it's Murray with 2 outs. That's a big momentum swing too, Pat. You're thinking maybe that's ball 4, then all of a sudden you're rung up. 2 outs.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's 2 base runners, 1 out instead of man on first, 2 outs. Huge turnaround, but it's been a pretty consistent zone today, and we've seen that low strike call a couple of times.
Lugo across the diamond gets the 3rd out, and Murray becomes out number 3. And Drayton Brown, a scoreless top of the 7th. Well, this happened when we went to break. Todd Whitting from the third base dugout gave an earful to Roy Gregson, and he was tossed. So the head coach of the Houston Cougars will watch this one from the clubhouse.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the call on Ace Reese. It was a low pitch in the zone, and Gregson rung up Reese, and there was some chirping going on back and forth right after that pitch, and Todd felt like he just didn't get enough said, and Gregson tosses him in between the inning.
Cade Manning leads off the bottom of the 7th inning. You know, that strike 3 call to Reese. I mean, you know, he made a case for how Todd was upset about that call. Todd Whitting.
Yeah, it was a close pitch. You know, it's one of those pitches that can go either way, and you know, may have been below the zone, but we've seen that pitch called a couple of times today, and so now it'll give way to the coaching staff for Houston to take over. Ross Kivett, in his 3rd year, associate head coach, will take over the head coaching duties at this point.
And was promoted to associate head coach this past offseason for Houston.
Great assistant at University of Tennessee for a number of years. Sean Kenny, the pitching coach, in his 1st year of work, as well as Matt Rita in his 1st year. Spent a couple of years at Alabama. So great coaching staff in the dugout. They'll take over those duties.
Dresic came on in relief to end the 6th. And let's look at this pitch again in the top of the inning to Ace Reese that really sparked the argument from head coach Todd Whitting. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Your thoughts, Pat, on that pitch?
Yeah, it's a tough pitch. Look, it's you know, if you're sitting in the offensive dugout, you want it to go your way. It'd been ball 4. If you're in the Texas State dugout, you want that pitch. So it was one of those pitches that could have gone either way, and we saw that pitch called earlier in the game against Manning for Texas State. This time it goes against Reese, but does it coming up high with a fastball, gets it by Manning for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Well, here's Farber again. Farber hit by a pitch in the 1st, and overall 0 for 2 for Ryan Farber.
Well, Farber, one of those freshmen that's come hot on the scene here in college baseball, has not struggled at this level. One of the concerns you have is that when he does struggle, how will he handle it? But
off the glove of Cole, and Farber is going to be aboard at first base.
Yeah, we'll see how they rule that. Ball was headed towards the middle, and Cole going over getting the glove on it, but not able to come up with the play.
They're going to rule that an error, E4. 1-out error. Farber at first. Now he runs well. He had a stolen base in the 1st inning.
Yeah, I think he makes that play clean. It would have been an out at first base. So I see the scorekeeper's decision on that. I can understand that.
1 for 3 for Patino. Just a 1-run game, but we've had a lot in this 1-run ball game, a low-scoring affair.
Yeah, it's been a lot of good action, some great defense. Pitching has been solid throughout.
But Texas State wants to take advantage, and you know, a Stephen Trout ball club, seen his ball club play over the years, they usually, when they win, they take advantage of miscues from the other team. And let's see how this 1-out error develops.
You know, trying to hold his swing, can't quite do it. Dresic evens the count.
The 2-2 will go full. Now Dresic wants to keep it right here, keep it a 1-run ball game, and let his offense go to work. We'll have Jones lead off the 8th.
See if Steve Trout puts Farber in motion at first base on this full count pitch. It's a good bet with Patino hitting. Patino's a pretty good contact hitter.
That's what you like out of your number 2 hitter. He does go, and that's going to be through the hole, right side base hit. And not stopping and heading to third is Farber. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Well, you said it. In motion.
Yeah, I think it makes sense in that play. You know, late in the game, you're trying to get Farber into scoring position anyway. He's already got 1 stolen base this game, and great speed, and got Patino at the bat, handles it well, and does a great job pulling that ball through the hole. Now first and third situation with 1 out for the Bobcats.
Chilomero, the catcher, warning his infield about the first and third 1 out situation, and now it is Rashawn Galloway, their DH. As you see the good athletic play there by Farber going from first to third, and time is called.
Yeah, Sean Kenny's going to make another pitching change here. Already signaled down to the bullpen. We'll see our 4th pitcher of the day for the University of Houston.
Well, the way that Jackson Jelkin started this game, we didn't think we were going to see many guys out of the bullpen, but it has turned.
Well, it certainly has. Battle of the bullpen so far, advantage Texas State.
We'll have the new pitcher when we come back. New pitcher Michael Benzer, the left-hander for the Houston Cougars, inherits runners on the corners and 1 out. And Texas State leading by a score of 3-2. Benzer, transfer from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's a good pickup for Todd Wooding and his staff. Of course, anytime you get a lefty with Benzer's stuff, you take the shot. But had a rough year last year at Oklahoma State. 13 appearances. ERA above 9. Give up 15 hits in 7 1/3 innings. He has turned it around this season, making his 3rd appearance. Has yet to give up an earned run and 1 in 2/3 innings. Has only given up a hit, has struck out 3 and walked 1. Things are called upon now in this tight situation. First and third, 1 out. In the middle of the lineup for the Bobcats coming up.
He's known as Benz. Played his high school ball at North Shore for head coach Ryan Vest. So here's Galloway. Galloway scored a run, got a base hit his last time up. And the first pitch from the left-hander Benzer. Ball 1. I wonder how many times baseball broadcasters use for when Benzer is in there. It bends in for Benzer.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that one today.
Ball gets away, and on his way to second base is Patino.
A good block by Chilomero, but All just scatters enough away for Patino to get moving. Good read by Patino when that ball was heading in the dirt. He had a great jump at first base. So yeah, the Cougar defense plays this. They're going to leave the middle of the infield back. Corners are in.
Pat, they call that a stolen base of Patino. He was in motion when the pitch was delivered from Benzer. Even though it got away from Tulamero, they rule it a stolen base. So now insurance runs. Ball gets away from the catcher Tulamero, and that's going to bring home Farber from third and make it 4-2 Texas State. Just an error by Cole, and that has opened up this opportunity for Texas State to add on to their lead.
Yeah, that fastball looked like it got pulled quite a bit inside, almost hit Galloway on the way by. Time Tulamero not able to glove it, and that'll account for the 4th Texas State run. 4 unanswered for the Bobcats.
Galloway at first base. Here's Ramirez, lefty on lefty. Meanwhile, Patino now goes up to third base. Benzer doesn't look like he's got command of his stuff so far.
So far 5 in a row outside the strike zone.
That's in for a strike.
Slider that time for Benzer.
Hit in the air. Jones in right. Center fielder Nickens makes the play. And tagging and coming home is Patino from third base. 5-2 Texas State. 2 in the bottom of the 7th for the Bobcats.
Great at bat by August Ramirez. Gets the slider. That time it stays inside. He's able to get the bat head inside out that pitch to deep center field, and plenty enough room for Patino to score from third base. That'll go down as a sac fly for Ramirez. An RBI.
Now it's Thompson. Well, there's that what I talked about earlier about teams taking advantage. Steve Trout team. Error, wild pitch, sac fly. All in this inning.
Mixing a stolen base for Patino. Put himself at second base in scoring position, and Bobcats doing a good job with runners in scoring position today. Some timely hits.
In case you're just joining us, Houston had a 2-0 lead in the first. Texas State chipped away, run in the 4th, took the lead in the 6th, and now 2 in the 7th. Fourth pitcher for Houston, Michael Benzer, against Cameron Thompson. Thompson was involved in that 2-run rally in the 6th. Thing about this, Texas State with 2 outs get a run in the 4th, 2 outs, get 2 in the 6th. They didn't wait for 2 outs in the 7th to get their 2 runs.
Well, that's a critical stat in baseball. You know, teams that produce the most runs with 2 outs typically put themselves in a position to win a ball game, and this saying they haven't had to do it with 2 outs.
One. Also a very close call is strike 3. Ace Reese striking out. Would be a ball 4. He flipped his bat over to third base. Instead, home plate umpire Roy Gregson called strike 3. And then Todd Whitting, in between innings, let his feelings known about that call and was ejected. Head coach for Houston. 1-2.
Hunter just misses down in the zone for Benzer. Steady diet of sliders to Cam Thompson. They have not wanted to throw the fastball to him.
It's Benzer followed by the starter Jackson Jelkin, then Brendan O'Donnell, Grayson Drezick. See the lead right there at first base by Galloway, the DH. 2-2. Struck him out. Couple of strikeouts inning by Cougar pitching, but in the bottom of the 7th, Texas State gets 2 runs on just 1 hit, an error, and they strand 1. Full day of baseball at Minute Maid Park in Houston, the Astros Foundation College Classic. After this game, we'll have Louisiana and Vanderbilt, and then the nightcap, 7 o'clock, LSU and Texas. Outstanding baseball all weekend. We encourage you to come on out if you're in the Houston area. Trey Jones starts off the top of the 8th for Houston, now trailing by 3. Drayton Brown is still out there in relief of Austin Eaton, their starting pitcher, Texas State.
Well, Trey Jones, one of the most watched athletes in this tournament this weekend. He is a guy that's going to get a chance at the next level, and well, he's described as looks like Adonis when he takes his shirt off.
Jones got the 2-run RBI single for the Cougars, scoring Reynes and Murray way back in the 1st inning.
Yeah, Jones with a ton of power and speed to go with it. Those really toolsy guys you expect to see playing for a long time in this game.
2-2 to right field, and it's gone. Trey Jones with all 3 RBIs for Houston today. And it cuts the Bobcat lead to 2. It's 5-3 Texas State. Well, we've raved about him.
Oh, man.
And you can see it right there.
Yeah, there's definitely some Darryl Strawberry in that guy. Man, that ball got out of here quickly. Really not a bad pitch from Drayton Brown. Breaking ball that was breaking down and away. I tried to backdoor that pitch, and Trey Jones just turns it around. And what a pretty swing.
Oh, beautiful.
Just extended on it. Ten rows up in right field.
Jimenez. Well, time is called.
Yeah, Drayton Brown had been cruising, retiring the last 3 hitters in that Cougar lineup, and
Chad Massingale out to talk to Brown. Anything else, just to, hey, don't worry about it, go after the next guy.
Well, I think we're getting toward the back end of that bullpen, and maybe a chance to let those guys get a few more tosses in. But Yeah, Brown's been under control. Really hasn't been hit hard yet, except for that Trey Jones home run.
Let's go, little Kenny.
Chad Massagill, 5th-year pitching coach for the Bobcats. Just giving his player a breath, and I'm sure to refocus him, to remind him, hey, it's just one run. It's not going to beat you.
Jones talking it over. Felt good off the bat. Probably didn't have any feeling. You know, they got that sweet spot.
Yeah, that ball was barreled up.
So Brown's got to settle down here. He's fallen behind. Well, that's going to allow Jimenez to go to first base.
Yeah, 4-pitch walk from Brown, and it's not the plan. After you give up the home run, that's the 1-1 home run's not going to beat you. It's the walks or the free passes before or after it that can make a crooked inning here, and that's, I'm sure Chad Massagill thinking the same thing. Hey, we're trying to avoid that. Now Steve Trout out, he will make the change.
So Texas State goes to the bullpen. This will be the 3rd pitcher for Stephen Trout, the Bobcats. Houston batting in the top of the 8th after a leadoff home run by Jones. Jimenez a walk, and we'll have the new pitcher for Texas State coming in, Otto Wolford. Senior right-hander Otto Wolford comes on for Texas State. He will inherit a runner at first base and the Bobcats a 2-run lead at 5-3 here in the top of the 8th inning. Wolford appeared in 13 games out of the bullpen last year. This season, just 5 innings. No record, an ERA of 1.80. Facing Anthony Tulamero, the catcher.
Yeah, Wolford has worked himself to the back part of that Bobcat bullpen over the course of his career. He's a 4-year player for Steve Trout in the Bobcats, standing at 6'1", 160-pound senior. Having a solid season so far, making his 5th appearance, has only given up a couple of runs in 5 innings. Struck out 7, walked 1, but good stuff from Wolford. He'll sit more upper 80s with a fastball, but good changeup and just got good stuff. Really commands his own.
Comes from Mason, Texas. So Jimenez at first base. Tulamero, the catcher. And the first pitch from Wolford is outside a ball.
Yeah, Wolford in the past has been upper 80s. He's actually added some velo. Now ticking up into the low 90s with his velocity.
Ball gets away from the catcher Ramirez and going to second base, Jimenez. The runner in scoring position, the tying run at the plate for Houston, top of the 8th.
He just kind of pulled that fastball down and in, or down and away from Tulomero.
Wild pitch. Now the way that Wolford throws the ball, he hides that ball well. He holds it behind his back, kind of has the back to the hitter. But he has fallen behind 3-0 to Tulomero.
That breaking pitch just missed.
Wolford checking down at his belt. The 3-0. Jimenez in scoring position at second. Instead, they throw back to second base, and he gets back in safely. Well, we talked about this, Pat. You get tested in this tournament. And that is a 4-pitch walk, in Tulomero. Back-to-back walks after the home run to start this inning. And there's nobody out. And you've got the man at the plate now, Herod Cole, who had an error and eventually led to a run. That pitch just off the plate.
Yeah, a couple of close pitches there from Wolford, but does not get the call. And now you should see a setup for a sac bunt here, try to advance runners if you're the Cougars.
And as a hitter, you're up 3-0 on the count. Tulomero didn't have to go after that pitch. Chases the runner, Jimenez, back to second.
Wolford spinning towards second base, trying to see if Cole will tip his hand on the attempted bunt.
This
Did
is
not show it.
Part of the game where the wheels are turning on both sides. And he misses here.
Yeah, 5 in a row for Wolford, and having trouble with the zone. Cole again not showing bunt.
This is going to bring out Ramirez from behind the plate.
Just trying to slow the game down again, and bullpen active for Texas State.
Steven Trout talked about how it's kind of a bullpen by committee at this point.
Yeah, still trying to figure out the roles.
Was Brett McCafferty throwing in the bullpen, the left-hander for Texas State?
Still early. Trying to figure things out in the pen, and right now Steve Trout's trying to figure out how to close this game out.
Early in the season, but late in this ball game, as the Cougars trail, and that's a swing and miss.
Yeah, straight changeup. That's a gutsy pitch.
Usually conventional wisdom says, what you see a guy coming out of the bullpen having trouble throwing strikes, you let him at least throw one strike. And Cole went after that pitch. But he's ahead of the count now, 2-1.
Yeah, that time did pull the bat back like he was going to bunt. Bobcat infield playing back all the way around. They were not expecting it.
Cole has struck out a couple of times. Gets a strike at the knees. Now the last strikeout, he still reached base because he advanced on a wild pitch. See what happens here on 2-2 with runners at first and second for Houston.
Wolford showed you trying to. Another stoppage in play here. Ramirez using the timeout. The pitch clock was winding down.
This is
maybe a pitch clock violation.
well, first base umpire Ron Teague, along with the third base umpire Eric Gaucher, was having something with the hands.
Well, this
and now
is
Steven Trout.
Yeah, they're claiming a pitch clock violation is what they're claiming at the U of H side, and so Gregson called timeout. Looked like he was granting timeout to his catcher Ramirez. It is going to be a pitch clock violation, so that's a ball. So now it's a full count.
Automatic ball, and that's the first pitch clock violation today. Full count. Here it is. We'll do it all over again.
Yeah, Cole lines that had Kivett hopping down there at third base. That ball was laced.
Interesting what they'll come back with here on a full count. Nobody out. Jimenez at second. Tulamero at first. The throw back just gets back in there.
Yeah, good idea from the Bobcats. You saw Jimenez dancing off at second base. Keep him close with this full count situation. Still no outs.
Cole awaits the 3-2, and it's ball 4. The bases are loaded. That was a patient at bat.
Oh, great at bat for Cole, and the Bobcat pitchers just kind of burying themselves here with free passes.
Three straight walks, and there's nobody out. And Alex Lopez, the third baseman. It'll be up to the bottom part of the lineup for Houston if they want to inch closer. Lopez, a double back in the second, was against the starting pitcher Austin Eaton. Pitcher number 3, Otto Wooford. Delivers the pitch. He is having trouble finding the strike zone. My father used to say the best laid plans don't work if you can't throw strikes. And that's the case here. Wooford has fallen behind 2-0 to Lopez. Lopez, you got to think, look for something that you want to hit, because right now Wooford cannot find the strike zone.
I'm taking a strike. That's just not many strikes here last 10, 12 pitches. And now there's a timeout here. Steve Trout not liking what he's seeing. He is going to make the change here mid-batter. The 2-0 count. Wooford is going to exit.
Inning started off with a leadoff solo home run by Trey Jones, and then Jimenez and Tulamero and Cole all walk. There's nobody out, and we'll have the new pitcher for Texas State right in a moment. Stephen Trout going to the bullpen. Once again, left-hander Rhett McCafferty comes on to try to hold on to a 2-run lead by Texas State as we're in the top of the 8th inning. Nobody out, and McCafferty will inherit a 2-0 count to Alex Lopez. McCafferty Out of the bullpen, a local product from Cy-Fair High School, which is Northwest Houston. 6 foot, 191 pounds. McCafferty, and he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, he does. He's pitched solid this season as well. And fastball that's up readies with good arm side run. Traditional 3-pitch mix, but yeah, 4th appearance of the season, only 4 1/3 innings. Has given up 3 hits, a couple of runs, but no walks, 8 strikeouts. It's a stat I'm sure Coach Steve Trout zeroed in on after watching 3 free passes provided by Brown and Wolford in this 8th inning.
Last year had 18 games out of the bullpen, a couple of saves for him. Primarily out of the bullpen for Texas State. When he was in high school, he was named his district pitcher of the year. Was good under pressure, also had some success back when he was playing high school in some big postseason games, I remember. So McCafferty against Alex Lopez. 2-0 count. Teammate on every base. Nobody out. And the left-hander's pitch. Down the right field line. On his horse is Manning. He'll make the catch. And tagging and coming home is Jimenez. And everybody moves up 90 feet. It's 5-4 Texas State. Lopez not wasting any time against McCafferty. Goes after the first pitch, and that's a sac fly.
Yeah, and just missed a grand slam by maybe 5 or 6 feet, but aggressively swing at that fastball, tailing in on him, but got enough of the barrel on it. Produces the sac fly and narrows that Bobcat lead to 1. Great piece of hitting by Alex Lopez.
Patino, the first baseman, comes in as Nickens takes a first pitch strike. Nickens 0 for 3. Tying run 90 feet away in the person of Tullamero, their catcher, and then Cole advanced, very alert base running. There's a base hit. Game will be tied, and they're going to wave the runner. And Cole is out. What a throw by Thompson in left.
Outstanding play by the left fielder for Texas State, Cam Thompson. Comes up hard, charging on that single from Cam Nickens. Just throws a bullet at home plate. Now we've had looks like they're going to count the run. They're going to call catcher's interference against Ramirez for blocking the plate without the ball.
Well, the Cougars get 3 in this 8th inning.
Wow, what a turn of events here for Texas State.
Let's look at this again, Pat. The throw from Thompson, the left fielder, that was a great throw.
Yeah, I didn't see the interference there. I'm not sure why the call was overturned. Did not see Ramirez trying to block the plate.
Stephen Trout getting an explanation from crew chief Doug Williams.
Okay, so the interference may have come against the shortstop of Texas State. We'll see if we can pick that up and see what occurred here. Can't see how that'd be on the shortstop. Maybe the third baseman? Yeah. Third baseman must have made contact with the base runner. Yep, contact with the runner by Aaron Lugo after he made that diving play. Got up and then stepped in front of the baseline as Cole was coming around third base.
Well, the Cougars take the lead 6-5. And the top of the order with Jake Reynes. Those walks, if Texas State could do it all over again, they wouldn't issue those walks. But they have benefited Houston in this top of the 8th with a 4 spot. And there's 1 out. Didn't see the interference initially, but let's look at this from this angle. Lugo diving and really didn't see much contact there either.
Yeah, that's Eric Gaucher, the third base umpire, made the call immediately when Lugo got up and stepped in to what appeared stepped into the baseline. I didn't see contact there, but Gaucher right on top of the play, the third base umpire, and he made that call.
Take a look at that again to see if Lugo made contact with Cole, who was coming in from second base. Cole had got to second because he's tagged up on that sac fly from Lopez from first to second. Reynes now a 3-ball, 1-strike count. One more look, Pat.
Yeah, hard to tell with this angle, but there's Lugo getting up, and yeah, I didn't see contact there, but did he interfere in the baseline? That may have been the call, that he just stepped into the line and caused Cole to step aside.
Well, Gaucher immediately, the third base umpire, called it. You could see that in that replay there, he immediately called it, and so the Cougars taking advantage of the opportunities given to them in this top of the 8th. And that's ball 4.
Yeah, 4th walk of the inning given up by the Bobcats. Cougars taking advantage of the wildness from the bullpen arms of Texas State.
So the hit, and it's just 1 RBI on that play by Nickens. Boy, we've had a lot of action here late. Low scoring in the beginning of the game, and then Texas State taking the lead, adding to the lead, adding to a 3-run lead in the bottom of the 7th, but then a 4th spot by Houston in the top of the 8th. And it's Reese.
Yeah, still only 1 out.
Nickens at second.
A lot of action with 1 out.
Reynes at first. Reese today got a single, a couple of strikeouts. Overall, he's 1 for 4. Now McCafferty trying to hold it now to a 1-run game. I have a feeling we're not done just yet, Pat.
No, that's pretty exciting here down the stretch, and back and forth we go.
Goes around.
Good breaking ball that time from McCafferty. It's ahead of Reese.
Lefty on lefty. The 1-2 in there for strike 3. And Reese called out for excessive window shopping. A beauty.
Yeah, good breaking ball there. Just starts front part of the plate. Those front door breaking balls, it ends up down the middle. Just freezes Reese.
Not much he can do other than just tip his hat and walk back to the third base dugout.
Yep, he shook his head like he knows it.
9th man to bat in the inning is Justin Murray. He's down the count 0-1. Now Houston trying to tack on another run. They got a runner in scoring position. And great speed at second in Nickens. On his horse is Manning, and he's near the foul line, and with the sunglasses down, he makes the play. Houston, 4 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on. Houston by a run. Cougars taking a 1-run lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th. I want to correct myself. I said there was only 1 hit going to break in that inning because that inning, Pat, lasted so long. But actually, there were 2 hits. Trey Jones, a leadoff home run, the RBI single by Cameron Nickens. Got a new pitcher for Houston, Jose Torrealba, coming on, the left-hander. And he is pitcher number 5 for Houston.
Yeah, hails from Venezuela, and the grad senior from Venezuela stands 5'8", 190 pounds, but good stuff. The 5'8" lefty up to 92, 94 the fastball, and really good stuff. He's been very effective here for the Cougars early this season, making his 4th appearance. Only given up 3 hits in 5 innings, has struck out 7, not allowed a walk.
And he will face Chase Mora, the local product, to start off the bottom of the 8th. Six runs to go along with 9 hits and a couple of errors by Houston. And for Texas State, 5 runs on 7 hits. They have yet to commit an error.
For a former Cougar that built kind of similar to Torrealba, and that short, quick arm, a lot of velo, was remember Shane Nance.
This is going to be caught by the shortstop Reynes in foul territory. 1 away. Former big leaguer Shane Nance.
Yeah.
Brewers and Arizona Diamondbacks.
Reminds you of Nance.
Played his high school ball at Pasadena Dobie.
Look at you.
Well, Mora becomes out number 1. Shane Nance told me a funny story once about his days in the Milwaukee Brewers as Aaron Lugo down the count 0-1. Of course, as a broadcaster, I'm always curious if it's a chance to talk to broadcasters. I said, did you get a chance to really talk to Bob Uecker? He was playing for the Brewers.
Yeah.
He says, no, I wasn't at that stature yet. I had to sit at the front of the bus.
Yep. Well, that's where I would think Uecker would be sitting, but he's back in the party section, huh?
You know Ueck.
Oh, boy.
Probably the funniest man in all of baseball. 90 years old. He'll be back in the Milwaukee Brewers broadcast booth yet again.
Amazing run.
This is going to reach the seats.
Well, Torrealba not expected back this season, but was granted a waiver by the NCAA to return. Extra year of eligibility for Jose Torrealba.
Lugo, third baseman. So it was Lugo, the interference call of Lugo, that allowed Cole to come in and score. And that was the go-ahead run. Swing and a miss. Lugo becomes out number 2 in the inning.
Yeah, obviously the key call of the game there. It would have been a tie game. That was the go-ahead run in the form of Harold Cole coming around from second base to put the Cougars ahead.
Lugo becomes the 12th strikeout for Houston pitching today. Lugo has struck out 3 times of those 12. Here's Powell. A couple of strikeouts for Davis Powell himself. Murray watches this one go into the seats. It's one of the neat things about coming to the ball game and you see a fan, a Astros jersey, he keeps that ball. That's what it's all about. Coming to the ballpark, and I got a foul ball. Football goes in the stands, you got to return it. Basketball goes in the stands, you got to return it. I think a hockey puck, you can keep it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Working in hockey all of a sudden in our broadcast again.
How do you do it?
So Powell, the boy right there. Jones shielding his eyes. And it's a 1-2-3 for Torrealba. Texas State goes down in order. And we go to the 9th inning. Back at Minute Maid Park with the Houston Cougars leading by a run 6-5. Gerald Sanchez along with my best friend Pat Combs, former big leaguer. And boy, Pat, if you went away for a little bit, you missed a lot.
Oh, you did. Yeah, a couple of key calls in this game. Of course, Todd Wooding thrown out of the game in the 7th inning. But Houston on a call that was called interference on the third baseman. They benefit from that. Go ahead in this game. Big comeback from Houston, aided by the wildness of the Bobcat pitching staff with 4 walks in that 8th inning.
Trey Jones grounding out of the second baseman Mora and Kenneth Jimenez. Cafferty on the mound. He came on in relief last inning. So Jimenez, after the home run by Jones, walked and then eventually came around to score. At that time, it made it a 5-4 game. Texas State. All those walks really hurting Texas State. The Bobcat pitching staff. Brayton Brown started the inning, but then Otto Wooford and then Rhett McCafferty.
Yeah, it's one of those innings that obviously as a pitching coach or head coach, you just hate to see, the walks pile up, especially late in the game. You had that 5-2 lead and you give up the home run to Trey Jones, which makes it 5-3. But if you recover after that, keep that lead intact, whole different ball game. But those free passes, especially late in games, oftentimes come back to bite you, and it certainly has today for Texas State.
Full count. Up the middle. Mora. Nice play.
Boy, outstanding by second baseman Chase Mora, and had to go backhand behind the second base bag to pick it up. And nice underarm throw here on the run across his body. Completes that to Patino for the second out. Beautifully done.
Cool under pressure, as they say. Tulamero grounds it over to Powell, and McCafferty retiring Houston 1-2-3 in the top of the ninth. Last call for Texas State. Let's see what happens and who will go out there for Houston on the mound in the bottom of the ninth. Astros Foundation College Classic coming up next. It'll be Louisiana against Vanderbilt, and then the 7 o'clock game, LSU and Texas. And that'll round up day 1 of this Astros Foundation College Classic, and not a bad opening act. We've had a lot of action, a 1-run ball game, and Justin Murray for Houston to try to close it out for the Cougars against the Texas State Bobcats.
Yeah, good look at Justin Murray taking his final warm-up pitches, and Cougars closer, one of the best in the country. There's the numbers. Has yet to give up an earned run in 4 1/3 innings. Struck out 7, walked 1, but looking for that first save of the season. And he had 10 saves last season, with the team leading 5 victories, and the Cougars' lowest ERA at 3.07. So Murray looking to get that first one in the books for the Cougars.
Well, Murray started the game at first base, and now it is Jonathan French playing over at first base, and got some other changes too in the outfield. Cade Manning, the number 9 hitter, up for Texas State. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Bobcats. This is Pena, pinch hitting. Dalen Pena. So Dalen Pena is pinch hitting for Cade Manning. Pena, the junior. Against Justin Murray. Fly ball. Left field. It is up off the top of the wall and gone! A game-tying pinch hit home run from Dalen Pena has tied the score at 6.
Absolute bomb for Pena. That's off a closer in Justin Murray, who had yet to give up a run on the season. Hitters were only hitting .071 against him. And Pena gets the call from his head coach Steve Trout, and he delivers with a monstrous home run to left center. That ties this game up.
Pat, I told you we weren't through. And sure enough, Barber. Confusion. Ball is thrown into the dugout, and Farber's going to go to second. Cole picked it up. Pitcher Murray, along with French, the first baseman, both converged, but no one took the throw.
Well, communication issue between French and his pitcher, Justin Murray. French had made a move to go get that ball at second base, and Cole gets it, but Yeah, then there was confusion between who was going to cover the bag at first.
Take a look at Dalen Pena. Fastball up and in, and he just drove it out to left field, and it just went over the yellow line and left. Up against that
railing.
Yeah,
sure did. Caught that railing. But how about this next play? Man, my goodness. Harold Cole, a nice pickup at second base, but the confusion between French and Murray results in a two-base error.
Conversation out there. Now Murray got a runner at second base. Farber. So a hit and then an error puts Farber at second.
Yeah, so good speed for the Bobcats at second base. Base hit could win it. Back to the top of this lineup. Of course, Farber the leadoff hitter. Now Patino, the chance to try to win it. So the Cougars will play this with the corner infielders in, looking for bunt.
And Patino hits it into center field, and it's going to dunk in for a base hit. Farber being waved. The throw. He's out. Farber is gunned down by just inserted in center field is Jacob Schoenvogel, and Schoenvogel, the throw from center field.
Yeah, big time throw from Schoenvogel, and he came in. It was a ball that dunked in the middle of the center field area, and he had a good run and start, but a great throw from Schoenvogel. The Baylor transfer throws a strike to home plate. Easy catch and tag by Tolomero. And that's the first out of the inning at home plate.
8-2 on the putout. Galloway. Meanwhile, Patino alertly goes to second on that throw.
Well, game-saving throw from center field. Steve Trout, the head coach for the Bobcats, of course, coaching third base, was not sure he was going to wave Farber around. That ball was really shallow in the outfield, and he takes the chance, though, thinking it was going to make a perfect throw to get him, and Schoenvogel produces it.
Texas State now 4 of 9 with runners in scoring position after that strikeout. Galloway 2 away in the inning, and here is August Ramirez.
Well, Justin Murray comes back with a big strikeout against Galloway, and now with first base open, they're going to elect to intentionally walk Ramirez. They'd rather face Cam Thompson with the matchup on the right-hander.
So Patino at second. That's the run that counts the most. And Ramirez is at first after the intentional walk, bringing up Cameron Thompson. And I mentioned Schoenvogel, I beg your pardon, out in center field, and the center fielder Nickens now in left. So Cam Nickens is now in left. The runners at first and second with 2 outs, and Cameron Thompson pops it up. Jones in shallow right makes the play in foul territory, and for the first game of this 2024 Astros Foundation College Classic, we've got extra innings. Knotted at 6. Texas State going to their bullpen once again with a right-hander, and that's going to be Jonathan Martinez. Martinez into the ball game, and we are here because of the leadoff home run, a pinch hit leadoff home run to start it off in the bottom of the ninth by Pena. Unbelievable. 6-6 our score, and we go to the 10th. And that was against their closer, Justin Murray, Houston's closer.
That was second pitch that Pena saw, and he deposits it into left field. Actually, left center area, just above the Cougars bullpen.
Daylon Pena being the hero for Texas State. Daylon Pena, who pinch hit for the number 9 hitter Kane Manning, will stay in the game and play in left. Manning's spot is now taken by Cade Thompson, who is Cameron Thompson, beg your pardon. He moves from left to right. So after all of that, Cole is the hitter. And the first pitch in extras is a ball. Anthony Tullamero is running at second base. He is the runner, and of course the extra inning rule. Tullamero made the last out in the top of the ninth for Houston. Cole got a count of 1-1.
Now Jonathan Martinez making his third appearance. Has 2 2/3 under his belt. Has given up a hit and an unearned run. A couple of walks and 3 strikeouts.
Ball gets away from the catcher on a wild pitch, and Tullamero advances 90 feet. Now that is a big wild pitch, because now you've got the go-ahead run and nobody out, which will bring the infield in for Texas State.
Yeah, big wild pitch, no doubt, and it's could change the way you approach Harold Cole at bat. Now up in the count, 2-1. A lot of things that they can do with Cole.
This should be, well, is it deep enough to get the run home? Center fielder Farber makes the play, and staying put at third base, Tullamero. Ball looked like it was going to be traveled further, and then it just died out there in center. There's no wind out there.
Yeah, just a shallow pop up by Cole, and had a good pitch to hit. Got that 2-1 fastball from Martinez, and not able to do much with it. Farber with a strong throw in, and first baseman Alec Patino cuts it off. Now the Bobcats are going to intentionally walk Alex Lopez. It'll be a first and third situation now with runners for the Cougars and 1 out.
Seems like forever ago, but Cameron Nickens coming up to the plate. He got the base hit that tied the game, and then eventually on an interference call by Lugo at third base, Aaron Lugo, the go-ahead run for Houston scored, and Harold Cole going to have a pinch runner now for Lopez. Joey Craig is running out at first base. Steven Trout out to talk to Martinez.
Yeah, just a chance to set up the defense. You know, what kind of first and third defense do we want to set up? I would imagine he'll play the middle infield back, maybe have corners up. Got to prevent the bunt here as well. Got to be heads up on that play. So set the bunt defense, first and third defense. A lot going on here with this first and third situation for the Cougars. See how Ross Kivett wants to play it.
So recapping, Tullamero came on as the runner at second because of the extra inning rule and went to third on a wild pitch. Cole flying out to center field. Lopez intentionally walked. Joey Craig pinch running at first base. And it's Nickens, the left fielder, who started the game in center. Houston trying to break the tie in the 10th. And it's strike one.
Good fastball from Martinez. And it's good to get ahead in these situations. Obviously trying to get the hitter out, but prevent Craig from getting advancement to second base. Fastball just misses.
Awfully close. Ramirez tried to frame that, but Ron Gregson, home plate umpire, Roy Gregson, I beg your pardon, didn't buy. Martinez. Well, he would like a ground ball double play here.
Wow. Looked like a cross-up between Martinez and catcher August Ramirez. That fastball just hit home plate umpire Ray Gregson direct. There was no glove on that at all.
And Houston trying to claim that maybe Nickens was hit.
I think the batter was hit.
No.
It was just a flat miss from Ramirez. You could hear the thud up here in the booth, and it was Gregson's chest protector that took the brunt of that pitch.
This game's had a little of everything in it.
Yeah, it really
today.
has. You don't see that very often. It's going to go down as a ball. So now a ball and 2 strikes.
Nickens awaits the pitch. Gets to see another one. He fouls off a 2-strike pitch.
Martinez flashing some good velocity. That fastball at 94.
A lot of wheels are turning on both sides. Romero the lead at third. Nickens, the runner going from first, he fouls it off.
It looked like Mora was going to cover for the Bobcats at second base. Of course, you don't want to give up the run in this first and third situation if there's a steal from first to second, but certainly don't want to have a crooked inning either. Trying to keep Craig off a second is what the Bobcats are thinking.
Another toss over, chases Craig back to first base.
Gutsy call on offense as well. If you get that runner thrown out at second, then it takes away your ability to get a sac fly to score the runner from third.
Nickens punches it into right field. It's caught by Thompson. Tulomero coming home, and he is safe. Ball was hit in medium right field. Thompson, the right fielder, came up throwing, and Tulomero tagging and scoring the go-ahead run, and Houston now in front in the top of the 10th. It was Cam Nickens who had a big home run against East Carolina in the opening conference series last year. And he gets the sac fly here in extras. And let's see if that is the difference. Top of the order with Reynes, the shortstop.
Well, good job by Tulomero. Tag up and score there, but Thompson had a shot at him. Just that throw took Ramirez up the third baseline, and if it's on target, you might have a shot.
Well, that wild pitch really, that hurt Texas State, because you put Tulomero at third and less than 2 outs. But actually, you put him at third and nobody out.
Nobody out. Yeah, that was a big play.
Going, and he's going to be safe. That was not a good throw at all by Ramirez. Stolen base by Craig.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch to throw on. Slider down and away from the hitter Reynes, and really difficult catch and throw for Ramirez.
Texas State has out-hit Houston by 1, 10-9, but they trail in the score by 1, 7-6.
Reyna's one of the bigger pickups in the transfer portal this season. There were a lot of teams after that shortstop. It was a huge pickup for Todd Whitting in the Cougars.
2-0. Patino. And he can't make the play. We talked about how catchers have to deal with foul balls behind home plate, and that's also for first baseman and third baseman in foul territory. And especially with Patino not familiar with the settings, I think that maybe had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, you'd like to make an excuse on this one, but the roof is open. there's no wind, and you know, bright skies for sure. But that's a play you got to make it at first base.
Well, we've had a start of the game when it was cloudy and overcast. Had some sun peek out the clouds, and overcast yet once again. We're going to have a good weekend weather-wise with baseball. That's in for a strike. Roof is open.
Yeah, it's just perfect weather here in the Houston area.
Reynes, a couple of infield hit, or rather a couple of hits. One an infield hit in the first. Goes after a pitch way up outside the strike zone and strikes him out. Houston takes the lead on a sac fly RBI by Cameron Nickens, and it's 7-6 Houston. Well, that young fan has seen a little bit of everything along with his friends in the stands at Minute Maid Park. Back and forth, back and forth. And right now it's Houston up by a run as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Extra innings. And it's Justin Murray for Houston. And also got a new third baseman, Kobe DeJesus. Kobe DeJesus, who came or is in the game now. Alex Lopez was the third baseman. He was pinch run for by Joey Craig. Well, Murray having to get that pitch comm device ready. Texas State with Austin Ramirez running. Beg your pardon, that's Cameron Well running at second. There's a fly ball to left field. Gone! Mora walks it off.
How about that for the start of this College Classic? Oh my, Chase Mora. A home run to win it for the Bobcats. So Pena ties it with a home run in the 9th. Mora wins it for the Cats in the 10th.
That is some elation right there from that Texas State Bobcat baseball team.
Wow.
Not a bad opening act at all for this great tournament. The Astros Foundation College Classic ends on a walk-off home run by Chase Mora. A 2-run shot against Justin Murray. And Texas State wins it 8-7 in 10.
What a way to start. What a way to start the series. And if you're Texas State, obviously, absolute elation with the walk-off home run. Deep into the Crawford boxes goes Chase Mora. And Texas State wins their first. University of Houston, tough luck losers after they came back late in this game to tie it and to put it into extra innings.
Well, Stephen Trout, head coach at Texas State, said we got to get off to a better start. They finished strong.
They sure did. Absolute bomb, and a lot of happy Bobcat fans.
So for Pat Combs, I'm Gerald Sanchez saying so long from Houston. The final score in 10 innings, Texas State wins 8-7. Stay tuned for game 2. It's Louisiana against number 9 Vanderbilt. That's coming up in about an hour from Minute Maid Park.